What's up, guys? Luca here. Luca Teal, yeah, it's the Ashen one, the Ashen Lucario, the Ashen Luca. It's me. I'm here for another episode of Scumcast. First episode of Scumcast for 2023. We are here again. I don't remember what year we started this show, but we're still here. I haven't gotten rid of it yet. I still have the majority of my original panel, the majority, that is. So that must mean I'm a pretty decent host, right? I must be pretty okay at maintaining a panel, right? Now, some of you also may be thinking, Luca, except for Maslin, where's the rest of your original panel that you're talking about? Well, All Day is actually sorting his laundry. I just got off the phone with him. We were doing some FaceTime discussing Chat GPT and other things. And then Slow said he's going to be late because he was doing something. So Meta's been in the wind ever since the crypto thing didn't pan out. The NFTs didn't pan out. He was actually gone before then. But, whichever. Let's see here. Okay, so what's up, Arcade, Caution, Spencer, Connor? It's so good to see you, Connor. I really hope we can catch up soon. Arcade, Cassie, hi. General Spartan, Blade X, Richard, Geekhead, Phil, Leaky, was goody, my boys, was goody, my boys and girls. How are you guys doing today? Anyway, let me just go ahead and pin this tweet. And yeah, guys, let's get it popping. Let's start off. Oh, it's already pinned. All right, let's start with the panel. Maslin, are you back yet?
Am I here? I don't know. Am I? Hello.
Was goody, my boy.
What's popping?
So happy to have you for the first show of 2023.
Yeah, I figure, my biannual should at least be number one.
I agree with that. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. What's up, Party Up Live? Dennis. What's up, Six Hokage? What's up, John the Don? What's goody, my boys? Always so good to see y'all. All right, Singer.
What is up? How's it going?
What it do, baby boo? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. The new anime season started, gaming out here. Everything's going gravy.
That's good to hear, my boy. What's up, Smitty? What's up, the finest? Was goody? What's up? Happy New Year. All right, go ahead. C Bankrupt, aka Caleb. Hi.
That's me. I'm here. I'm so happy to be here. Holidays are great, but it's not as great when you have the flu the entire time. So I'm happy to be here and alive.
Oh man, sorry that you haven't been feeling well, buddy. It sucks. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that you're alive, of course, and I'm happy that everyone in the chat is here. Hey, Dre. What's up, Brian? Happy New Year, guys. I hope you guys have a good New Year with your families. I hope everything went well. And I think we're going to be in for a fun show, and I cannot wait to get everyone's thoughts on our first topic. So, first topic will be Hogwarts. What's up, Nautical?
Yo, I'm very glad that I'm not, a part of this amazing panel. I'm not, because you named everybody that isn't here but me. And I was like, oh, I guess all the time that I spent listening to Yuka rail off about stuff didn't matter. So,
well,
so I guess I don't matter.
Okay, well, hold on. Let's think about this for a second.
So go. Yeah, please, let's go.
First of all, I got
my Long Island iced tea right here waiting for this.
First of all, Meta hasn't been here for decades, so that's whatever. But Slow-Mo and All Day told me that they weren't going to be here. You didn't tell me if you were going to be here or not. Okay, so I just didn't know where you were.
Okay, but still.
Still what?
Steel
Rain? Okay.
You could have been the fact that you mentioned a band that literally disappeared from the earth for half the year and
That's
not
true.
Me.
My bad, man. You've been like kind of MIA though.
I've been MIA for holidays is over. Holidays is over, man. Back to your regular scheduled programming.
True. Am I charging my head? No, I'm not.
I'm just messing around though. I just thought it was funny.
No, I know you're messing around.
How y'all doing?
Pretty good, buddy. Pretty good. It's always good to have you here. I'm actually very grateful that you're here. I love having you here. So I love your insight. Love you, man. What's up, Jigga? What's up, Mr. Glass? All right, but yeah, let's talk about this Hogwarts Legacy controversy. It continues to rail on. Ever since the game was first announced, people have had this very particular kind of viewpoint about the game. and about the people who choose to buy the game. And I am someone who doesn't agree with the viewpoint and the narrative that's being pushed about the people who decide to spend their money on this game. Because at the end of the day, capitalism, consumerism, we all buy products where the parent company probably has done some sketchy shit in regards to the executives working there. So if we were to have you know what, let's just get into what was said. Let's get into what was said. First of all, the issue starts with J.K. Rowling herself. J.K. Rowling in the past few years has come out, well, like she's made some very blatantly transphobic remarks. Like, honestly speaking, I think she's transphobic. I think she's a TERF, but it is what it is. Like, it's an unfortunate reality that you have to contend with. That's kind of what happens when you, like, the suckiest thing about social media is that you learn more about the people that you, let's say, idolize than you would have wanted to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, back in the day, there was a mystique and a allure to these celebrities. We didn't know them as people. We couldn't see that, hey, I just tweeted about taking a shit or whatever, like some of these celebs do, you know? Like, we didn't know anything about them, so we didn't know whatever their viewpoints were, because it was also very, very controversial to speak on specific topics, you know what I'm saying? So they would avoid it. But like in recent years, unfortunately, this is what I think, she's transphobic. You can disagree with me if you want. I don't care. It's just my opinion. But it's because she's made like very specific comments in relation to trans people, right? Now, here we're gonna talk about this tweet by Brianna Wu, aka one of the most annoying SJWs that exists. Brianna Wu, who has made a name for herself, former candidate for U.S. House in May. Well, I'm glad she's doing something beneficial. So, Brianna Wu, she says this. Now, after exceptional 2021 results, Pottermore, the global digital publisher for J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World, saw profits drop by 40% last year. I quote retweeted this initially. I was like, that's actually pretty interesting. I wonder if, you know, because we're not going to affect J.K. Rowling's money. She's rich. It's over, right? You know, like whatever fight you think that you're having, or
that money too long.
It's too long, man. It's like, it's over, right?
Mm-mm.
But I did have a very in-depth conversation with one of my coworkers regarding whether or not J.K. Rowling has the staying power. So whether or not she's going to continue to have a legacy, if kids are going to end up reading her books and stuff like that, you know? So, you know, that aside, people did point out like, hey, the profits dropped because people are finally, we're getting, I mean, technically we're still in a global panorama, but, you know, there's so many places that are opened up. They're not really requiring masks anymore. People are traveling again. You know, people are going back to work. Like, I'm back full time at work in person. So, you know, we're not remote anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people are taking time to go outside, which means that every form of media is going to drop in sales because people are not spending all their time at home, right? So, Brianna Wu said, fuck around and find out. This is why it's really important for decent people. Please take note of that word, decent people, to boycott Hogwarts Legacy. I have a lot of friends in games media, but I will be cutting ties to anyone who promotes this. Now, personally, this is a extremist viewpoint. Give me 1 second, though. Shout out to John the Don saying, Happy New Year, Scumcast. Hoping this year brings lots of prosperity, blessings, and great games, movies, and shows. What's your most anticipated game? Dead Space, baby.
Yep.
Dead Space. All about that Dead Space. John the Don's been a Scum Lord for 24 months.
2 weeks left, baby.
Appreciate you.
Oh my gosh.
For me, it'd be Fire Emblem Engage, I guess.
Ooh, it looks so good. Yeah, we'll talk about that too. But back to the topic at hand. Oh, I mean, do you guys want to answer? Anyone else?
All I play is Destiny. So Lightfall.
I don't know how you doing that to yourself.
I gave it up.
Addiction. I promise.
I'm gonna need you. We're gonna have to have an intervention because I got off it. Luca got off it. 40 got off it.
I'm halfway.
We need to get.
I'm too far gone, man. I've been doing this to myself.
No, trust me, you're not too far gone.
Since
It's
when?
gonna take a couple of years, man.
Well, you said 2018.
2015.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well.
It'll take a couple of years. You'll figure it out sometime. But
Maybe.
So yeah, so the implication here, and it's not even really an implication. She is flat out saying, you know what? No, it is an implication. She's not flat out saying it. She is implying that she says that it's important for decent people to boycott Hogwarts Legacy, which in turn would mean the flip side if you don't boycott this game, you're not a decent person.
You're not a decent person.
In turn, if you buy this game, you're not a decent person. And she's also saying she's going to cut ties with friends in the games media. If you're going to cut ties with someone over something like this, you're not actually friends, especially when it's like, again,
their job.
Okay, like let's get into this, right?
I wish I was our friend to test. I would test that.
I would like, okay, go ahead, goodbye. But
I would literally test that.
So I quote retweeted this. I said, reminder, you are not a bad person for wanting to buy a video game from a franchise you adore. J.K. Rowling is already rich. Moral posturing on Twitter changes nothing. Boycott if you want to, but you achieve nothing by helping to create a bigger divide. This breeds resentment. Now, allow me to explain what I mean by that before giving you guys the floor. What I'm saying when I say this breeds resentment, it's like this. We are in a very reactive age. Cancel culture is heavy. It's heavy on people's minds. People are very, very, very quick to jump on this concept and this idea that you are problematic for certain things. Now, my issue comes with this. There are a lot of things that get quote unquote called out as problematic that aren't actually a problem, because I have the ability to see things in shades of gray. I have the ability to read into nuance and understand nuance and context. And I have the ability to use context clues and actually utilize higher thinking,
brain power,
in order to figure out whether or not something is a problem, right? So for me, when it comes to these kinds of issues where someone's like, you're transphobic, you're homophobic, you're racist, you're sexist, you're... What's the other ones? I think that's all of them, right? Racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic. Yeah, any of those, right? You're one of the ists, right? When someone is so quick to jump and call you that over something as asinine as wanting to purchase a video game, it blurs the lines, especially when there are people who have expressed to me, like, they're like, Luca, I do feel a little bit guilty. I do feel a little weird about buying this. Like, I really, really want this because I still love Harry Potter. I still have a lot of adoration for that game, for the book series and the movies and everything. Like, but I don't want people to think that I'm transphobic or anything like that, because I'm not. And that's the thing. There are people in my thread, even there's a bunch of people who are like, I'm gonna buy 2 copies now as a fuck you to cancel culture. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yes, I mean, it is your right to spend your money however you want, right? I like, do what you want, do as you will. It's all good, right? When I say that it breeds resentment, is because this inability to see what's actually a problem versus what you perceive as a problem, because you are so quick with the trigger finger in regards to just calling someone some kind of ist or phobe. People are going to be less inclined to listen when real issues are brought up. So when it is a real instance of genuine transphobia, people are less inclined to be as receptive to the information or empathetic about it. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's just kind of how it is. You get called a bigot so many times over dumb shit, you're gonna be like, yeah, whatever, when it comes to anything else. Now, that's just my viewpoint. That's my perspective on it. I feel this way about any sort of issue that comes up. You guys already know I am quick to be like, that's actually not fucking racist. I'm quick to say that's actually not fucking sexist when someone comes out and starts crying racism or sexism. So it has nothing to do with me not being trans. Because that's what someone in my thread said. They were like, well, if this was about a Jewish person or a black person, I would do nothing. I would do what? You don't know who I am. You see a tweet, you make an assumption about me, and that's perfectly fine. You know, we all do it. We see a tweet, we make assumptions about people. I assume that Brianna Wu is a dumbass, but like, there's other things that make me think that as well. So it's just a culmination of things, right? But like, I don't see anything in my response that would have this idea that I come off as transphobic. Therefore, when I had another person in my thread saying, oh, listen to the voices of trans people, they implied that I'm transphobic. I was like, you believe whatever you need to believe because I'm not arguing back and forth with you. You've made up your mind. It is what it is. I'm moving on. I know what's in my heart. I know what kind of person I am. I'm not arguing with people about that. So I implore my audience and anyone who may come across this video where it's like, if you fucking know that an issue is not actually a fucking issue, and someone is quick to be like, you're fucking a racist, a sexist, homophobic, transphobic, you got to understand that those are deflection tactics. I've used it myself. Like, it's fucking manipulation 101. You cause someone some sort of phobe or ist, then the person feels defensive. They're on the defensive, and the conversation shifts to the person attempting to defend themselves instead of the actual focus, which is, if you buy this game, apparently, you're not a decent person. So I went on a little bit of a monologue. I want to get my panel's thoughts on this. So go ahead, guys. Whoever would like to go first.
I guess I'll go first. The way I see it, I could separate JK from here's a person I don't agree with, but I like Harry Potter, and the game is made by some devs in whichever studio they want to be from, and they're just creating the best game they could possibly make with a license. Now, it's a licensed game. So I can separate the two because I don't feel guilty buying it because I am buying a game these developers have spent time to develop, right? So as far as it's to help these developers out. So I'm cool with that. I'm segueing. But then she said all this. If you don't buy it, you're a decent person. Well, what about all the brands you buy? Victoria's Secret, Nike, Adidas. All these places, they use fucked up methods to get their products that you'll happily walk into the store and buy the product straight off the shelf and not give two hoots. But now all of a sudden, you have a problem over this situation when you're probably out there buying these products that are made in horrific conditions, but you're like, oh, it's fine. And this isn't fine. And it's like, well, if you have a problem with one thing, why don't you have the, if you're a high moral standing and you want a grandstand, why not go after all of them? Because Apple, Microsoft, all these people do it. But you're going to target JK because she's open about her views. Obviously, none of these companies admit they use sweatshops. But JK has come out and she is openly homophobic. You could, transphobic. You can definitely say that. But I don't know. I don't know why you're targeting people that are just licensing the game. They got nothing to do with JK Rowling and her views. They don't share her point of view. So why are you going to punish people who have nothing to do with the situation because of something the creator said? You didn't even have to agree with the creator. You could just like the work. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't logically think it through. It just seems emotional. And someone's trying to maul grandstand. And that's the way I look at it.
It's if you're gonna say this, like you wouldn't buy anything. Like you wouldn't because everyone who's in charge of anything is a horrible person. Like it's
like you should be making shoes from like cows that just died.
You should go out and
funeral. Like
it's. But I think in these circumstances, sometimes it's easy for people to sit back and take the moral high ground, so called, because it probably wasn't going to affect them anyways. But if you take the same person, I'm sure she probably uses an Apple product. Somebody said it in the chat earlier. Is she going to stop buying Apple products, even though they probably 100% have questionable people in leadership who probably have questionable opinions or probably have sweatshops full of children somewhere in a different country? No, she's not going to say that because that would actually affect her. I don't know. It's hard to take that opinion whenever basically everybody who makes any type of product is not a very great person. So I don't know.
My opinion is I'm buy what the hell I want. if you feel the necessity to try to guilt me into not buying what the hell I want, you can kiss my ass after I take a shit. Like, just keep it a buck. Like, I want. At that point in time, like, I don't give a fuck about your opinion. I already don't care about 99.9% of people's opinions. But you definitely not about to guilt trip me into not buying the stuff that I want to buy. It's mine. I'm gonna buy it. It's my money. If you like, oh, I'm not gonna be your friend. Cool. I will never talk to you again. And I will go on playing my game or whatever the hell it is, and I'll be fine. And you will still be mad that I bought it. And nothing's gonna change. It's okay.
A reminder that you cannot boycott something you were not going to buy in the first place.
Facts, big facts.
Yeah.
What's up, Day?
Hey, what up with y'all, man? How's everybody doing today?
What's happening?
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy everything. That's what I say.
Happy everything to you, bro.
Happy New Year is my favorite poem.
Yeah. What up, man? Bot boy. What up, man?
Bot boy.
Hey, but man, we'll be talking about this stuff right here. Let me,
J.K. Rowling.
If I'm back on the show now, we got to do it the all day way. Let me get
okay, well, go ahead and get your bars off, and I'll go after you. You been here. You were here first.
All right, so let's do it. Y'all want to do it the all day way real quick before?
Let's do it.
Okay, so who said this? Brianna Wu?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's do it the all day way. Everybody put your all day hats on. Let's click on her. Who is she?
Are we asking her, did she eat breakfast?
No. We don't care if she eats. We passed that. I want to know, what does she do?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. Anybody know what she does for a living?
What's her job?
Yeah.
She's the executive director of Rebellion PAC.
Read her bio right there for me.
Which is a progressive hybrid PAC fighting for progressives.
Okay, yeah.
Money, code of ethics.
So they're fighting for campfire stuff they talked about. Let me read that whole bio right there for her. Read it to me.
All right, former candidate for U.S. House in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Software engineer, like to go fast. Brianna at hey.com.
Yeah. Okay, so you know what this tells me?
Non-governmental, non-profit organization.
All right. That was good enough. All right. So, so it says, go back to your profile. Okay, so say former candidate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Former candidate means she didn't win, right?
She didn't win. It wasn't like she was former House of Senate, but she former.
Right. Okay. Secondly,
also, wait. You just have to pay. It's like $37.
Yeah, exactly.
To be a candidate.
Facts. All right. So that's out the window. Right? Out of here. That credit was shot down. Sniper scope done. Right? Out of here. Right? All right. Next thing. Software engineer. I want somebody to Google software engineer. It seems like they can make video games sometimes, right? Yeah. So are you jealous? I mean, what's going on? What's wrong? I mean, does J.K. Rowling have anything to do with this company in this game? Does she? I mean,
how much influence does she have on it?
Yeah, how much influence does she have? Like, how much control of? I mean, does she have a solution?
I think all she did was sign over a name to allow them to be able to use the.
I don't think she had any hands on it.
Yeah, I don't think she had any hands. She just had to sign over and make money on the back end.
This is pretty interesting. This is those arguments. These are those Twitter. These are the brushing your teeth arguments. These are those butt napkin arguments. You know what I mean? Like these are arguments that people like to come up with when they just on a shitter, man. They just can't come up with nothing else to say. The boyfriend ignoring them and shit, girlfriend ignoring. Ain't got nothing to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
What are we talking about here? Boycott the game so I can't buy the game because she's transphobic? Bro, if I live my life like that, bro, I'll be sleeping outside and with some dirt as a blanket. You understand me?
Hold on. So I just looked up her campaign, right? And a highlight of her campaign was a bunch of tweets she said about the militarization of space and how people do not privatize space tours because they can drop rocks from the moon that are equivalent to a nuke. I swear.
Wait.
First of all, you drop a rock from the moon. It's gonna be a long time until it hits this place.
Not only that's gonna burn
and then it says
it's gonna burn up in orbit.
People like what?
Wait. Mass, I didn't hear you. What'd you say, bro?
Okay, so on Twitter in February 2017, will receive media attention after she posted warnings about the militarization of space, along with voicing her concerns over going private space tourism companies sole access to the moon. She wrote, "Rocks dropped from the moon have the power of 100 nuclear bombs."
No.
No, she's an idiot.
No, wait, hold on. No, hold on. Let all day break this down real quick, because no, she's not an idiot. Hold on.
No,
Now
she is.
No, she is, but not in the way that y'all think, right?
No,
Okay.
she is in multiple different ways. But
Yes, but look, she's a multi-universe idiot. Check this out. Look, she's a multi-dimensional idiot. Look.
Oh my god.
She breaks the fabric of time.
Right. She's a fourth layer wall breaking. So listen,
rips the universe apart.
like the space militation, all that is happening. That's a fact. You can look that up. That's actually happening. But Andrew, she say rocks hitting the Earth, nuclear. What the? Is she a physicist? Does she?
No, sir, she's a software engineer.
She's
and
a software
candidate
engineer.
for Massachusetts.
Okay. So once again, caca mouth.
She ran
You know what I'm saying?
twice and lost twice.
Damn, bro.
Right,
We need one more and she the fuck out of here. We need one more and she out of here.
So let's just bring it back to this tweet that she responding to from the bookseller saying, after exceptional 2021 results, the global digital public J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World saw a drop of 40%. So sounds like you hating. First of all, you mad because you wish you would have got that extra 40% that you were getting. Second of all, the other side of that is we're in the middle of a pandemic. Everything from reading to watching TV jumped through the fucking roof.
Mm-hmm.
So she probably she probably would have been right where she is right now in sales and revenue and profits if 2020 never happened. She would be right where she is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be for real. The further we get away, this thing people don't realize, the further you get away from an IP like Harry Potter and like not really
the less control.
Less control you have and the less money you make on it, because unless you come out with more stuff that's in that world, people aren't thinking about it. So they're hating for the fact that, this game is going to probably give her another breed on life on her IP because of the fact that, and I won't say that 40%, some people probably didn't buy stuff that they normally would because of that, because the world is full of a bunch of followers. And, she's one of those people that think she can lead from the front and she's nobody. But ultimately, that woman's money is going to be longer than anything else. You can do anything you want to do to it. It is not going to matter. She's still going to have a name. You can believe what you want to believe. Me personally, I don't care. I really don't. Most people don't care because guess what? Well, no, I won't say that. Most people do care because they don't know what they should be caring about. You should be caring about stuff that's going on in your Senate right now and not worried about what the fuck's going on with J.K. Rowling's and all this back and forth Twitter stuff, because that is more of a pressing matter than what this is. But ultimately, we already know you throw out the pitchforks. You want to, cancel somebody just because they have a voice or they have an IP that they feel like they can make so much money off, and you're just jealous of that situation. I just ultimately think that this tweet and boycotting stuff, telling people to do something, you're trying to be a leader when you're actually not, because most people aren't going to listen to what you do. I looked at this, I saw the topic for it. Before I left work today, I had over 106 pre-orders for that freaking game across all platforms. That's just my one little store. We're not counting Amazon. We're not counting Best Buy and all these other places. We're not even counting. Yeah, we're not even counting the digital purchases that people made on their system.
Green Man Gaming.
Steam.
Yes, sir.
We're not even talking about those. So who really cares about what this person says? It just sounds really good that you're saying it, but ultimately it's going to fall on deaf ears. And I just don't get why people do this, but I do get it because they just want to have their little time to shine, I guess, and whatever.
I think it's all about just having like a public image, just to like,
That's
hey,
all
look,
it is.
I'm so much better. Look how good I am as an individual, and look how bad y'all are.
Meanwhile,
Hey,
these
can
are
I
the
ask y'all a
same
question?
people that are doing that while they're tweeting it from their iPhone.
Yeah.
That was
Can I?
made by
It was made in
a
a
company
sweatshop.
called Foxconn, where they had to put nets on the top of their buildings to keep their workers from committing suicide because they were
Yeah.
being overworked.
Facts.
Meanwhile, they use hair supply products that's made on the backs of prisoners in our own American system that work at a wage that's so low that it's like 13 on average 13 cents an hour. They have to pay them something because it's basically slavery.
Yeah.
But they can't call it slavery when you're getting paid 13 cents an hour. So
Yeah.
it's just it's funny that these same idiots will say these kind of things and say, oh, you're a horrible person if you support XYZ, but they support literally everything that is just as way worse than one idiot who has a statement about whatever. Meanwhile, like, she's not making any more money off of this game. They don't even know that she got paid out a flat sum before this game even before this game's coming out. So this game could bomb and have 5 people buy it or have 5 million people buy it. She's still getting paid the same amount of money.
Still getting paid the same
Nothing
amount
that
of money.
you're doing in this stupid boycott changes anything.
Yeah.
And let me finish up. None of these people that we're talking about, this idiot Brenda, whatever her name is, none of them are gamers.
That's what I was going.
Brenda, Brianna, I don't care.
I was gonna say that's exactly what I was waiting for you to finish saying, because I'm like,
None of them
where's
are
your
gamers.
where's your gamer tag so you can show me that you actually play
You
video
even play
games?
stuff in the first place. Yeah.
What do you
I
play?
don't even let gamers tell me what I should buy. Why would I let
Once
your
they look.
bum
Once
behind do it?
again,
Come on.
once again, look. This goes back to all the infiltrators. Once again, it goes back to I like technology. I can talk about video games. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
So her gaming company released an iOS game in 2011
Oh, for the slut shop. Okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
called Revolution 60.
That's
played
when I
this?
graduated high school.
Y'all played that new
2011.
fire? That was
What year was that?
in 2011.
That's the only thing they've released.
12 years ago.
Yes, that's the only thing they released.
Yeah,
It's
that's.
Oh man.
Damn, I was like
Man,
getting drunk at that time.
that software engineer job took you a long way.
I
yeah.
was like partying when that game
That shit
came
took her straight to Twitter, huh? All right.
Here's to you, slow mo.
Helped her twice in elections. Yeah.
Yeah, in the back seat. No, go ahead.
I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with her having an opinion in this. It's more so.
No,
I
it
think,
is.
like,
It
she's-
No,
is.
it is.
Well, I
You
think-
out here
I think-
telling people
No,
what
no.
people
Like,
feel.
people are- like,
It
she's calling out other
absolutely is.
people.
If you listen, if she could have worded that tweet so
Yeah.
many different ways.
Absolutely.
She could have, if she would have labeled it as an opinion piece for herself
It is
and
an
not try to
opinion.
bring and rope other people into
That's what
it,
I'm
then
trying to
yeah,
say,
you can
yeah.
absolutely have an opinion.
That would be fine.
But the moment you start telling people like, oh, you're basically nothing, you're a person that shouldn't even be listened to, you're indecent if you do. Who the hell are you?
Yeah. It's not her opinion, but it's the fact that she's trying to put everybody else down who might have a different opinion than her. It's
Mhm. Talking to us
The
like
sad thing is that this game, whether it's like, I'm not saying Hogwarts Legacy is going to be a great game. I don't know. I'm interested in it, and I'm going to play it. When I do play it, it's probably going to be dependent upon how like polished it is at launch. I ain't really trying to play no buggy games. There's way too much fire coming out this year. That said, I feel like we know how this game in media is. This game is going to get less than 80 reviews for a AAA game and a big IP. That's ridiculous, but it will happen. But there are going to be far more media outlets that are going to just choose to not even review it instead of actually having to be forced to give like a potentially fair review and get backlash from that on one side, or do a review that basically trashes the game for no reason, even if it is of quality, simply because of who J.K. Rowling is, and then get backlash from the other side. There are going to be a lot of game review sites that are just going to say, I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to say anything. I'm going to act like the game don't exist, which is also, in a way, pretty much still hurting the game, because it's not, there are a lot of people out there, there's a huge demographic of gamers that care about reviews and care about the Metacritic score, and they don't play anything that doesn't have a decent Metacritic score. So it's like we already know ahead of time what's going to happen with this. It is what it is.
So the biggest problem, okay, leave it at this. The biggest problem I have with this is because you're throwing into a bucket like we actually care about who J.K. Rowling really is.
Yeah.
ultimately, I didn't know who that woman was when Harry Potter first came out. I didn't go start seeing it till the third one. So it's telling me, like, for her to say something like that, it puts me in a position where I'm looking at it like, well, I don't give a fuck about J.K. Rowling. The reason I watch Harry Potter is because the woman that I'm married to right now, that was like one of her favorite franchises of all time. She read the book, she did everything. And when she wanted to go to the show to go see the third one when it came out, I went with her and I got enthralled in what they were showing. I was like, yo, this is actually pretty good. And I went back and watched all of them. And that was like a consistent thing that I did with her. She wants to play the game. I'm not really interested in the game, but she wants to play it because she's a huge Harry Potter fan. So it's not because of J.K. Rowling that I would even want to be interested in playing this. It's because I like what she wrote. What she wrote and what she put on screen was pretty incredible, and a lot of people love that, but it has nothing. Two things can be certain. You can make a game, you can make a movie. All those things don't have to do with the person you are. We all know when you're on the internet, you have a completely different persona than who you are in real life. Just because you say one thing here doesn't mean it equates there. And I just hate when people try to say that, oh, you're supporting this person. No, I'm supporting the people that love this. I'm supporting people that care about it the most. And and everybody cares for things in different ways. And I kind of think that gets lost in translation when it comes to stuff like this.
Honestly, I don't even think she's that good of a writer. Honestly, I thought the series was just okay.
I love
much
the
better.
I tried to read
down
the
the
books and
street.
got bored, so
I didn't read the books.
If you walk down the
it.
street right now and be like, what you think about J.K. Rowling? They're gonna be like, who?
Who?
What you think about
Yeah,
J.K.
who?
Rowling?
Yeah, no,
I
that's
didn't
what
even know who she was.
If
But
you
if
go
you be
like,
like,
the indie fan
you know what
base,
Harry
that's
Potter
fine.
is? They're like, yeah, that's that wizard shit, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like,
That's all that
there's a-
matters.
What is it?
Hey,
Like,
they talking about, hey, how you feel about that J.K. Rowling? What you say, J-Lo? What?
They on that summer 64. Who that?
Oh,
Like,
geez,
like nobody's gonna know who the hell.
Look at Forte.
How come people? Everyone knows what Walt Disney was when he set up Disney, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone still fucks with Disney,
Mm-hmm.
even now. So it's like you
He was
clearly
racist.
don't
Fuck. He's racist.
like
He's racist. Fuck.
you understand what
Y'all still watch
created
all his
Disney,
stuff.
and you watched all the films when you were younger. You watched the Bambi, the Cinderella, anything that came out Disney. Even now, everything Disney is like, oh, but it was still founded by the same
You know
person.
that?
J.K. Rowling will still be the founder after she's dead of Harry Potter. It's not going to make a difference. People are going to be fans of the series, whatever it may be, and they'll just keep supporting because they enjoy the series.
Y'all know that movie, that movie that's the number one selling movie of all time that was made by Disney called Endgames that everybody went out and supported.
Yeah.
And that was created by Marvel with the blessing of Disney and all their money.
And who created Disney?
Yeah.
And people talk all this junk about. That's why I say, look, people literally go out and try to have an opinion about something they truly don't care about. Like, you don't see me going to talk about something that I don't care about, because if I don't care about it, why would you even listen?
Oh, wait, Forte or Luca, did she ever respond to anybody? Did anybody ask her, hey, are you interested in playing this game, partner?
She just said that she's going to stop being friends with people who in the games media who decide to cover it.
Yeah,
Wait.
It
sounds like a person that doesn't have a
We're also
PlayStation or an
assuming she has
Xbox.
friends now.
No. Okay, now. Hey, I'm gonna give you a little secret to life, a little tidbit to life. Anybody who has to verbally announce that has no friends. So
Yeah.
So
your friends left you a long time ago.
yeah. So Wow.
Go ahead and mute yourself so you're not.
Yeah,
talking,
my
please.
bad.
No worries. Yeah. Listen, as I stated in the beginning of my rant, J.K.
That was a
Rowling
nice
is already
rant too, by the way.
Thank you. J.K. Rowling, she's already rich. There's nothing any of us can do to affect it. You're like, you win nothing by moral posturing on Twitter. You cannot boycott a game you weren't going to get in the first place. And calling people bigots just because they want to buy a video game or play a video game is counterproductive to your fucking movement. People don't like to hear this. People don't want to hear this. But at the end of the day, the way to be successful is if you have allies. You need allies in order to succeed. Like, it's just how it is. It's just how it is, man. It's like how there's TV. I'll give an example. and technically this show is ending. It's ending because the creator got into it with her bosses, right? But the Owl House has a bisexual lead character, a Afro-Latina bisexual lead character who has a girlfriend, canon on the show, right? People started watching it because of that, but people stayed because the story is actually very, very good. Watch The Owl House on Disney Plus. Excellent fucking story. Excellent fucking story. That shit is awesome. Oh, I was like, this is hidden. Season 2 was amazing. Anyway, what I'm saying is, it takes more than anything related to any sort of social consideration that is controversial these days for people to stick around. You need allies in order to be successful. And that's all I got to say about it, man. So let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, which is we're going to talk about The Last of Us television show. So The Last of Us TV show, this actually just recently came out. So they're not going to, I quote retweeted this, and then I got some people who don't like to read the other comments for some reason, and they just want to repeat the same thing over and over again. Like, I don't have 50 other people saying the exact same thing. Shout out to y'all. Anyway, in a recent interview with Collider, Neil Druckmann confirmed that spores do not exist in The Last of Us HBO's universe. In the show, they will be replaced with tendrils. What do you think about this change? I don't know anything about The Last of Us, so what are spores, and is that like essential to the lore of The Last of Us games?
It's kind of like a fun guy, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like some type of
the spores. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So, like, if you see the spores, like, in the game, that's like a tell that, like, you know, the mass is about to come on because there are infected around. So it's more of like it's in the game. It's more of a tell for you to know what's coming. But like, I think that, I mean, just based off of trying to be authentic to the material, like I would not. It wouldn't make any sense to me why they wouldn't have that there. Like, why would you just choose not to do it? Is it a budgeting thing? Is it? I mean, I don't see how that would like cost too much.
No, apparently, I was talking to Persona about it. Persona said that this is the most expensive show HBO's made, right? So
really, even more expensive,
really?
like Game of Thrones, like the later episodes of Game of Thrones were like
maybe one of the most.
But can I ask you a constructive question real quick? I don't mean to interrupt, but this shit's important, G.
Nautical, you're muted.
Like how hard is it to make shit look ugly?
Actually, it's pretty hard.
I know. Okay, but how hard?
Pretty hard.
I'm not talking about the spores. I'm talking about the atmosphere where they're shooting.
I'm about to say ask
like,
H.R. Geiger.
H.R.
Geiger, yeah.
Would you call him Geiger?
H.R. Gregor. Shout out to Gregor. Let's see here. Real quick, let me look at the chat. So, okay, so people in the chat are telling me. Let's see here. Crow, what's up, Crow? Good to see you, buddy. He says it was a big deal in part 2 that Ellie is immune to the spores. Okay, yep. So Ellie is immune to the spores, and Vibe says spores was how Joel knew Ellie was immune. Sly says Ellie reveals her immunity by breathing spores in both games. So, personally, the spores in the game were a mechanic to slow down the player, okay? In reality, 20 plus years of gas mask filters doesn't make sense when we struggled with the vid mask for a year. Well, it's a different reality at the same time that's been overtaken by monsters with
the reason they said they getting rid of it was for reality.
Oh,
they was like, okay, they're getting rid of it because
really?
They're getting rid of it because if spores were in the air, then it would get on people's clothes and it would get everywhere, and everybody would be infected anyway.
I gotta go. Man. This is getting real idiotic here.
We got rid of the spores.
Was that actually the reasoning behind it?
This is getting real stupid. They said. Nah, he's capping. Send me the link. You're capping. Send me the link. You're capping. Send me the link now. Bro, this shit sound insane.
This is HBO, so I believe it.
He said, right? He said, obviously there are some big things we know we're keeping, of course, but there are challenges from the game to the show that had to be considered. For instance, little things like spores. In the game, there are these where you encounter spores and you need to put a gas mask on. In the world we're creating, if we put spores in the air, it would be pretty clear that they would spread around everywhere, and everybody would have to wear a mask all the time, and probably everybody would be completely infected by that point.
So explain the fucking game I played then.
Exactly.
If I remember correctly, if I remember correctly, don't movies and TV shows get like different segments taken? So you can, like, if you're going to do a segment or a take where you got spores,
you just skip to a different part.
You do a different. You do that. You do all your spore scenes in 1 or 2 days, so that is already taken care of. So the rest of it you shoot regular.
Hello.
I mean, it's only been done in every movie that's ever been
Somebody
made
knows
when
about
it comes
production.
to that. It's like, you don't have to do. It's not like, oh, we're going to shoot a spore scene today, and we're going to shoot one next week, and we're going to shoot. No, you shoot all the spore scenes at one time and get it out the way.
Because guess what? Every day is millions of dollars. Every day,
right? Every minute,
every second counts, bro. They ain't got no time to fucking waste.
I will say I understand the whole tendril thing because it's more of a thing that's on the screen that they can like move and puppeteer and stuff like that. So they kind of wanted to be like this live and moving thing, but I don't think that's a good enough point. Or
Forte.
Do you think that real quick? Do you think that Ellie's gonna like swallow a tendril?
No, I don't think at all. They're gonna do some crazy Jedi mind and make it grab your leg or some shit.
All it sounded like to me was he wanted to make a hentai.
Exactly. You know what?
I do have a question though.
Because they have to prove she ain't got.
Hold on, Def. I gotta go. I got my radar's blinking on Mass right now. Mass.
Yo.
Hey, bro. You my brother, right? You own some shit right now, G. You know that, right?
Yes.
You know you're heading somewhere brilliantly, right? I love it. I'm giving that virtually right now. Man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah. There's some other shit they doing here, bro. This is like some deviancy here, bro.
Like they gotta prove that she's immune to it somehow. So it got to go in her body somewhere.
Okay, look,
just keeping it a buck. Just keeping it a buck.
My grandfather used to work on movies all the time. Like when it came to. No, go ahead.
I have an honest question. How are you having this hard of a time adapting a movie to a TV show?
Oh, I get it.
You get it? Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Because the Last of Us is well suited to be a TV show.
Fuck up, man. Listen.
It's not the most expensive thing.
I'm about to ask some regular shit, bro. Fuck all this shit, bro. Check this out. This is crazy. Check it out. In most comic books and everything, we know a lot of things don't translate into film as they do in the comics, right? Like, how are we gonna make this particle effect? How are we gonna do this? Bro, we literally talking about a shit look like a disease, dog. Right. You know what I mean? Like we talking about shit that look like some styrofoam with some piss on it. Like we talking about some shit y'all can do with your eyes closed, man. Special effects been around forever. Practical effects probably cost the least in this aspect. Yeah, this is a post-apocalyptic world, bro. We ain't in space, bro. Well, where's the money?
I think it's less about the creative decision and more about whether or not it makes sense, and then also so actually let's see here.
All they gotta do is take a vacuum and turn it in reverse. Let it fill up the air.
Genki on Twitter said Genki on Twitter said it might be because of COVID. They don't want to have a show that reminds people of it.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
You can't avoid COVID.
It's
We're
just a theory. It's an idea.
Yeah, but I mean, but the theory kind of sucks. I mean, I'm just tired of like that always being the thing because like. Netflix is about to cancel the TV show they were doing for the Division because of like the whole premise of the Division is the dollar flu destroyed the world. Everyone's dying from it, and people are like, oh no, that's COVID. It's just, I'm like, man, can you just do the daggone show that I want? I mean, look, I'm not going to get depression because I'm watching a TV show that's similar to what's happening in reality.
I think it's more about whether
they want to cover up the product, bro,
or not.
I mean, they want to cover up the product. That's what it is, man.
I don't know. What did you say, Luca? I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, I agree with you. Listen, Dennis, that's exactly what I said, and everyone was like, "What about the Mandalorian?" Even though I guess in the Mandalorian lore, they had the helmets on or something.
Did somebody say that else, Luke? I doubt you said that earlier. Yeah.
And guess what? They gave Pedro Pascal his flowers at the end of it and said, "Go ahead, take your mask off, player."
Mm-hmm. I said, I was like,
as much as that was against the law, they said,
I was
take
like,
your mask off, bro.
I was like, he's a big time actor. The reason why they hired him is because he's Pedro Pascal. He has a fan base. Maybe it's because they don't want them covering his mouth or covering his face in any way, like because the draw is to see that actor.
He's a new Brad Pitt, I guess.
Like I said before, I had a bunch of people saying, "Well, The Mandalorian." First of all, these are two different networks, two different shows, and two different lore and stories.
Well, they broke the lore,
and they already broke the lore. So, listen, guys. At the end of the day, good luck. I don't know anything about The Last of Us, but I will be watching the show. I shall be tuning in to see how it is. I hope y'all enjoy it. I cannot stand when they change shit from established canon unless it's dumb. Then I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm with it. That spores thing, that actually is a great point. Like, everyone would be infected, right? So you would think that they would have thought about that when the game was coming out, but whatever.
No, you know what I mean?
Listen, man, they just trying to sell more copies of the game at a later date.
So, I mean,
and when they play the game, they'll be like, "What's this spore mechanic? What's this? This wasn't in the TV show."
Maybe one day I will play The Last of Us.
No, you won't.
No, I won't.
I mean, to be honest, watching the show, it's supposed to be the entirety of The Last of Us. We'll probably get most of the plot points.
The first game is supposed to be the first.
I was about to say, as long as
I don't know how they're trying to fit all that into one season, but all right. It really should be 2, I think.
It won't be one season. It'll be.
They already said it's going to be the first game is going to be the first season.
They didn't say the whole first game though.
Yeah, they did.
Did they? Did they actually say the whole first game?
Yeah.
Oh.
How many episodes is it?
No,
Luke was trying to show us some shoes on the screen. What's up?
No. I have that level of petty. I'd do the same thing in that picture.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Man, them shoot like somebody made them. What's that?
If you guys want to know what shoes I bought, I have these.
Somebody need to go. Hey man, somebody need to go hire somebody from Fiverr.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so MagFest.
What is that?
I don't fucking know. It's a gaming event. All right, MagFest is a gaming event. MagFest has been criticized for the public jab at games website Kotaku.
Oh God!
The gaming event questioned the publication's journalistic integrity on the sign. So as you can see on the sign, it says Pathfinder free play this way, and then Kotaku's journalistic integrity 404. That's for the
404. We're still trying to find it.
Gaming event. So MagFest, which is currently ongoing, features panels and events centered around gaming and music culture. This year's event, which began yesterday, has drawn attention on socials after an attendee noticed a reference to the game site. This is the attendee right here. I think that's fucking genius, dude.
It is.
That's great.
That's really good.
So the MagFest Twitter account has now acknowledged the quote-unquote issue. Replying to Patrick Klepix, that's somebody in the industry, right?
Yeah.
It wrote, "Hey, MagFest community, we heard you loud and clear. The joke we printed on our signs this year did not land. For clarity, it was intended to poke fun at one line in an article written about our vid response last year. It was immediately pulled from the floor. We understand that most people did not receive it as such and that it made people feel
What?
It made people feel unsafe. This was a huge oversight and lack of awareness on our part. We are so deeply sorry to our community and Kotaku for this error, and we will do better with our banter in the future." Okay, real quick.
Hold up.
Real quick. Wait, let me cook.
Go ahead.
Let me fucking cook, my boy.
Cook.
Let me cook.
It better taste good after you're done.
It's gonna be delicious. First of all, MagFest official representative, you guys are cucks for apologizing. They're cucks for apologizing.
Let's get it.
At the end of the day, that shit was fucking funny. All right, it was funny. I think it was a little clever jab. I liked it. There was a full, oh my goodness, sign with all the where you can go for each event. The 404 arrow for Kotaku. People don't fucking like Kotaku. Most gamers can't stand fucking Kotaku. It's the games journals and people in the industry who are probably throwing a fucking fit. But gamers, we're all like, yeah, no, that shit's pretty fucking funny, dog. So you apologizing, you guys are fucking cucks. You should have just stayed. You should have stood by it because you had to have known that people were going to have an issue with it. You had to have fucking known that it was going to draw criticism and critique. So why would you even do it in the first place if you're going to backtrack? An issue? It was not an issue. It was a very, like I said, it was a clever joke, but it was an intentional clever joke. There is no issue here.
Yeah.
You're fucking cucks. You're fucking cowards. Don't ever make jokes like that again. We don't want to see it, especially from people who are so quick to backtrack due to fucking public outcry. Unsafe? How does a jab at Kotaku make anyone feel fucking unsafe? How?
Yeah.
Someone explain that to
It's
me.
crazy.
I can.
I feel unsafe reading their articles.
I can explain how it was unsafe.
Oh, please do. Cook.
Didn't the article say took a jab? That's violent.
I mean, you're not wrong.
He's correct.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I feel unsafe. Somebody trying to jab me.
The funny thing is that they weren't even the only ones. It's like it's kind of like a thing that they do at this conference, this event, is that they make fun of it. They make fun of people in little slight ways. So it's like it's not like everyone else got an upstanding like sign or whatever of where like they're going to be, and Kotaku was the only one that got like disrespected,
roasted. Yeah,
you're roasted. It's just like they can't handle any kind of
Wait,
criticism.
can I ask you a question?
Not surprising considering who they are.
So the funny. Go ahead.
Hey, when you read that to me, oh my mama, I thought that when you was gonna show the slides after they showed the little panel where to go, they was gonna have an actual audience there, bro. Like
that's what I was thinking. What's more bad?
That would be kind of dope, right?
You paid for a show to go hate on a.
That's kind of fire, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I just think in general it just comes back to you don't do this to individuals that say crazy things about the Kotaku on Twitter. It's like you don't go ranting and raving, and more people probably see those just because they're at a conference. They say, "Oh, the 10,000 people that walked past this sign saw that Kotaku was nowhere to be found." So who cares? It's funny. I agree with Luca what she just said, because I do feel like you definitely, if you made that joke, you were basically, you knew that, oh, someone's probably going to take a picture of this. It's going to probably end up on Twitter or somewhere. And Kotaku's not going to like it.
Yeah.
And at that point, I would have been like, at my mind, I'd been like, but I don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm not apologizing for something that 90% of the people that see this joke is going to agree with. And I would have been like, I would have probably put out a press release. I probably would have put out a statement saying, thanks to all the people that came out. Really appreciate all the love and support. Dude, we also had a situation with a sign that was in our walkway that people could, adore and see. And it did have something to say about a industry leader that a lot of people think is toxic. And we agree with that. And that's why that sign will always be there. And I would just lean into it even more.
Well, comedy is inherently offensive to someone. Like almost
always.
Yeah. Someone is, no matter what joke you make, someone is going to be offended. That's kind of the point of comedy. Is you're making fun of something.
And but like that joke was so light though.
Yeah, and
I don't like the language that they use. This concept of how does anyone feel unsafe? I don't understand. Caleb,
I don't know. I don't know either. Like the person this would have been offended to is a corporate company that probably won't care that much in a few weeks whenever it's over. Like I don't understand.
If somebody says something, listen, man, people say crazy stuff about gay stuff all the time, and I don't, and I know they ain't talking about me. So I don't take, when they go out, when I read Reddit or I read things that people are saying, I'm like, that's terrible. I'm glad that's not me.
Yeah.
So I just don't, I never will get why people, corporations and stuff always try to take shots and feel like it's about them. When it's clearly not. It's clearly about the establishment that you probably work for. Shout out to All Day. You just got to eat, didn't you, bro? I know that's why that camera was muted.
The hardest insults always have a lot of truth in them and hit home the hardest for those who get that offended. So hey, look, they took it like that because They hear that often.
More than they care.
Yeah. I don't know.
I like the sleeve, bro.
Okay, let's move
I'm
on.
muted. Oh, thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. You know what I mean?
So,
How long you had that?
4. I think like 5 years. I think.
I just never seen your arm. It looks nice.
Oh yeah, bro. You know, Victoria's Secret. You know, they be asking.
I just think of y'all. All right, real quick. Wednesday, aka the global fucking phenomenon, because it is a global fucking phenomenon somehow.
It is really good.
Wednesday has been renewed for season 2. I personally am very excited because it is my current hyperfixation. I just wanted to take this moment to just bring it up for anyone who was concerned about it, because Netflix cancels literally fucking everything. I will never forgive them for Warrior Nun. I will never forgive them for Warrior Nun. That was actually a really good show, so fuck you, Netflix. They just canceled 1899. I don't know what that is, but I feel for y'all. They canceled First Kill. Netflix, you fucking suck, okay? Here's the issue with Netflix. Let's talk about this for a second. Netflix create these shows. They don't do any sort of fucking marketing. The show ends up bombing because people don't either. Okay, I'm sorry, not A. 1, either don't know about it, or 2, they watch it and it's just in small waves, right? They see it, they measure it by whatever metric, which is a outdated and trash fucking metric, and then they cancel the show. And now they have conditioned their audience. They've conditioned their audience to not get attached to series. So I'm happy that Wednesday was renewed for season 2. Of course it fucking was. Again, global phenomenon. If it had not been renewed, if they chose to cancel it, that would have been insane given how popular it is, especially on TikTok, which I truly believe that TikTok is the leading social media platform in regards to trends, because a lot of stuff that we see on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube comes from TikTok. So the fact that TikTok, that the Wednesday Adam dance became as popular as it did on TikTok, transferred over to everything else. So I'm looking forward to it. I know that other people on the panel have also watched the show. Aude perhaps doesn't share the same sentiment as me or Nautical about enjoying it, but
yeah, it's not a bad show. Like, I was a big fan of Addams Family, especially the movies growing up in the 90s. That was fire. So I was hyped going into this, and it's not a bad show. I liked it. I just didn't love it. You know what I mean? Like, I liked it. I just didn't love it. I just felt like it was too kind of like, it was pre-teeny. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting old, G.
No, it's definitely that.
I'm getting old, G. You know what I mean? Like, I could take it for that, and that's cool. But I think even sometimes, okay, let me reframe it. I would like them to kind of focus more on Wednesday's antics. Her personality, more of her pranks, more of her being rebellious, more of her upbringing, kind of getting into the dating scene, crushing, puppy love, that type stuff. Not so much of the teen dating stuff, hardcore. I feel like they could have did that like maybe a second season, or kind of like paced it out a little bit better. But that's a small petty gripe of mine. You know what I mean? It ain't really nothing too major, but it's a decent show. You know what I mean?
So I agree with that. I do think a lot of the stuff you just mentioned is the stuff that they're going to probably lean into in season 2, because if they would have did it in the reverse, where they did the stuff that you wanted them to do in the first season, it would have blew the socks off. But then we always know that the budget for the second season is always bigger than the first one, because AKA Phenomenon, they wanted to test the waters. And I think this is the thing that I notice about Netflix. They don't promote anything. If it ain't Stranger Things, they ain't promoting it. It doesn't get promoted. That's the only thing they promote. And and I think it's mostly due to the fact that they want to see what naturally happens with these shows when they're now. It's not a good way of doing it. They just want to see what shows do by just dropping them and see how the customers respond to it. And if they respond like they did on Wednesday, then you're going to see bigger and better. Then I guarantee you when the next one comes out.
Wednesday is a fucking outlier.
Hey, can I go on?
No, it is. It's one of the few outliers, but I guarantee you when season 2 comes out, they're going to promote it. They'll promote it like crazy.
Can I go?
They're going to put a lot of money behind it compared to like all these other shows that so you got to think a lot of the shows they do now, they also pick up shows that got canceled from other places and bring them over, and that's kind of what their overall goal has been lately and stuff. So they really haven't made and created too much new stuff, where this is like one of the newest things they did. But I'm really, really enjoying the show. And I do think the next season they're going to do a lot of the stuff that All Day was talking about, because I do think that's the core to the character. But they're never going to promote anything brand new out the gate, because they want to see how it lands with their fans
first
just by itself. Because that's what Wednesday just blew up. I mean, for outside reasons, I think outside of just, the show, like you said, you talked about TikTok, and they don't have to manufacture that at all. That was something that was pretty much given to them. And now they have a gold mine on their hand when it comes to that franchise. Now they just got to live up to the next season to make sure it's as good as the first one.
Yeah. Can I throw something out real fast? Yeah, I think Netflix used to be able to get away with that because they were the market leader in streaming. And the reason a lot of their stuff doesn't land anymore is because they are most definitely not the market leader with streaming services anymore. They can't. Yeah. So that's it.
That's it. Oh man, you on a roll, man. Come on, man.
Oh, they said you was about to start cooking.
Yeah, come on, man. Give me some more.
Take us out for sushi. Take us for hibachi or something.
All right, I'm gonna go on a little rant real quick, man. I just, this is real petty, but it has to be done. It has to be done. Luis Guzman, right? Like, what happened? I know the show's not about the parents at all, but we talking about a Puerto Rican cat who's very charismatic, who's very, talented, very funny, very entertaining to watch. In this show, I felt like he was on Thursday and not Wednesday. I don't understand what was going on. He felt like he was scared to talk.
Yeah, listen, at least for the physicality, they went with Luis Guzman because he
from the cartoon,
the original version of Gomez in comparison to the modern iterations.
Okay.
And, I know a lot of people had an issue with his rendition of Gomez. I do think a lot of it does have to do with how he looks, though, especially based on, because I just recently watched Addams Family Values, which is an amazing fucking movie. That shit was fire. It was very, very funny. And
top tier.
I guess that actor could be considered handsome. I don't know, but just a different kind of physicality there. We didn't really see too much of the Addams Family. A lot of people have some criticism and critique for the fact that, at the end of the day, the Addams Family, they're weird, but they love each other, and that can't be denied, right? People took issue to Wednesday being so antagonistic towards her family, her mother especially, but she's also
tough love.
Listen, she's a brooding teenager. Yeah. Okay, she's a hormonal teenager. I'm just chalking it up to her being a teenager, honestly speaking, trying to find her own way, and not be seen in the shadow of her parents or whatever. I did think it was particularly ironic that it was just like she said, the first episode, I will never fall in love, but then the entire series was spent with Xavier embarrassing himself, honestly speaking, down atrocious.
Over and over.
Down absolutely fucking atrocious, chasing after Wednesday. It was like, stand up, King. Stand up. And then Tyler, and I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, and Tyler acting as her romantic interest for the show. So at the end of the day, even though I don't like that they included romantic elements, because in my opinion, I don't really see Wednesday as someone who would be interested in getting into a romantic relationship. That being said, we mostly have seen her as a child, so there's that as well. So maybe it's maybe it's just readjusting your mindset on it. That also being said, as much as people don't want to acknowledge it, especially for the younger generation and older generation too, it's prevalent throughout, right? Shipping culture is a huge thing. It's a huge thing. Shipping culture is what gets people to keep watching shows that are not very good. That being said, shipping culture has also led to certain shows being ruined, aka Arrow season 4 of Felicity and Oliver, awful fucking couple, ruined her character, but whatever, right? Killed off Laurel, whatever. Her name was Laurel, right?
Laurel.
So yeah, shipping culture can be bad in that regard, but there's also Damon and Elena, Vampire Diaries. I will never forgive them for that. I was team Stelena all day, fucking every day. But anyway, we can move on from that. Shipping culture, it gets people to keep watching a show even if it's not good anymore. So even though Wednesday season 1 was considered very, very, very good to people, the shipping culture surrounding it is going to keep people watching the show, especially the shipping with Enid, who is her Wednesday's roommate. Between Enid and then Wednesday, that's like the biggest ship for the show currently, even though it's not anything that's established as canon. So I just want to say, ultimately, I really did enjoy the show. I had fun with it. It reminded me a lot of a CW show, which is why I was surprised to see so many people enjoying it. I talked to Dealer about it. Dealer's like, yeah, it's pretty good. I was like, oh my, Dealer? You know, I was really surprised, but like people I didn't expect who would enjoy this show enjoyed it. And people were like, well, I mean, if it reminds you of a CW show, Luca, that I'm like, yeah, of course I'm gonna like it. I fucking watched the CW. You know what I'm saying? So I had a good time with it. I'm happy it's getting renewed for season 2. Check it out if you want to. It's on Netflix currently streaming. You might like it. Like if you haven't seen it yet, you might end up liking it because again, I don't even know who I can recommend this to because the people who I would never expect to enjoy this show. So
it's mostly due to the fact that you never really get a show that is based on an existing IP that has a spinoff that actually does it that well. Like it's like it's so different, and so I think the fact that like you were talking about the fact that we only see her as a child, I think in this atmosphere is why it does so well because you can still relate to the character. All of those different tropes are still there, but you're seeing more of the older side of the character, and I think that's the thing that's really riveting for people that's trying and looking at it now. And you know, they really didn't care for the younger side of it, or they just didn't care about all the antics of the show from the beginning. But this is something different.
Yeah,
and I think it's really good because of that.
You know what's going to keep me watching? Hey, I thought I wasn't going to keep watching, but you know what's going to keep me watching?
What's going to keep you watching, buddy?
Man, y'all see Christina Ricci, dog?
Yes, we have.
Look, check this out. Hey, check this out, man. How come Nintendo can't be like that, man?
Here we go. Okay, real quick. I also want to give Jenna Ortega her flowers. The reason the show works as well as it does is because she did an amazing job portraying Wednesday, and I commend her for that. I really enjoyed her one-liners. That Wednesday Addams is my princess. Okay. That's my little princess right there. So I really enjoyed it. She deserves all the flowers that she got. And that little dance that she did, while at first I was very embarrassed to see it, I ended up really liking it. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cute. This is kind of like, it makes the character cooler because she doesn't care about.
But why did, you know, as I was watching the dance, right? As I'm watching some of it, I felt like I've seen it before somewhere else. And I don't know where. Because I don't know if it was the cartoon of Wednesday. Remember they had the cartoon back in the 90s?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it was that or another quirky show, but I remember a few moves that she did. I was like, man, if she got inspiration for some older stuff or some other quirky moves, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, like the leg shuffle that she did, that was shown briefly, was shown Wednesday Addams from the TV show from.
Oh, that's fire! That's fire! That's fire! See, I like that. Hey, do you got a link to that?
I don't right now.
I'll look it up. Don't trip.
Okay.
Everybody who was upset about not seeing more of the Addams Family, the show is called fucking Wednesday, not Addams Family.
But the draw of the Addams Family is the Addams Family, so I get it.
Yeah, sure, but it's not about the Addams Family. It's literally about fucking Wednesday.
Hey, Stone dropping some knowledge in there. She said it was from. She watched the 80s Goth Club Kids for that. Okay.
Oh my God, look at my Vave coming in with all her knowledge. Hold on, it's its own segment. First of all, I love you so much. I got my little sweatshirt says love, and that's the love I feel for you, Stone. You know what I'm saying? That's my best friend right there.
Pimpin' sis, pimpin'. Look at that.
Okay, anyway, we can just move on from that. So I actually have to step away for a moment, but I did want to talk about Fire Emblem Engage for a bit. Singer, Slow, if either of you have looked into it, or either that is, if you have any interest in it, I have the article up if you want to read through some of it at least. I'll link it to y'all so you can take a look at it as well. And if one of you can like lead the conversation, I'd appreciate it. I will be right back.
Sure. So yeah, Fire Emblem Engage comes out later this month, and there are a couple of changes to the game. This game compared to Three Houses that came out about 3 years ago, and I'm super excited for it. It's still going to be pretty much what Fire Emblem is.
Does this game rhyme with 30 frame?
Well, it's on a Switch, so
Okay.
30 frames is being generous.
Okay.
I'm not going to play it on the Switch. I'm going to play it on a frame rate that I choose.
Yes,
and
a
that's
superior frame rate.
exactly. So like there's that, but outside of that, this is probably going to be like I think a really good RPG coming out. I've actually been replaying through Three Houses a little bit here and there, and just kind of just getting myself refreshed in the entire like game design and aesthetic and everything, because it's not like the main protagonist for Three Houses is in Engage. It's not that character isn't, but I do think it's going to be pretty damn good. What do you think, Singer?
All right, so there's a few differences now. They're dropping the sim like persona relationship system that was in Three Houses. It's going back to the way Fire Emblem games used to be before Three Houses happened. So it's going back more to the rock, paper, scissors, like spear beats sword, bow beats. You get the idea.
Oh, that's refreshing to hear.
They're going.
What are your thoughts on that, Singer? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that, because it's as much as I enjoyed Three Houses, not having it, but then you have all these returning characters from all the other Fire Emblem games. You could establish the relationships with the emblems. So there is a relationship there, because you have to, like with the different emblems you have to establish a relationship. So you have to talk to them, give them gifts, etc., etc. So there's still that there, but there's not the Three Houses. You talk to people. You have the option for romances, etc., etc., etc. But the combat is looking fire, and that's where it excels at. It looks like it's improved over Three Houses.
Yeah, I agree with that
in a lot of ways. And it's more of a sim management now, whereas you have to go back to your base, you have to upgrade stuff, you have to go around, do different things inside your base. So it's more management. I saw someone kind of reminded them kind of like Cult of the Lamb in the base management. There was kind of these other things to it. So overall, I am really excited, because once I saw the whole combat situation, the art style looks great. All the Fire Emblem characters. The fact you could still get the three leaders of the houses in the game, so there's still that connection for the fans of Three Houses. Overall, it's looking fantastic. I think it's a great sequel to Three Houses, because it would be a sequel, yeah. Well, new game.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a great sequel when we haven't played it yet. I mean, we still gotta play the game before we can say it's.
When does it come out?
I have a feeling it'll be great. It comes out 2 weeks.
It's at the end of this month, but I mean, let me double check. I think it's like let's see here's Fire Emblem.
Anybody in the chat? Press 1 for getting it, 2 for not. I want to see.
It's because it's like it's got all the other
comes out the 20th.
The 20th
after my birthday.
All right. We got 1. All right,
oh yeah, it's actually that's actually not a bad release date. Release time.
Yeah, only the game that's coming out really around that time is Forspoken.
Right. Looking a little mixed. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Different demographic altogether. So
I'd rather get Fire Emblem over that Forspoken. That's a fact.
I mean, this is a huge love letter to people who play Fire Emblem, because if you played the other Fire Emblem games before
I have
Three Houses, like there's a ton of recurring characters. Like there's the main character from the very first Fire Emblem game is in it.
That's dope.
3DS games, like all the emblems are all the previous characters from other.
So this is like a love letter, right?
Yeah, it's a love letter to Fire Emblem fans. Like because if people have played the entire series, they were like, "Oh, this person, that person." I mean, even for us, for people who haven't played all the games, it'd still be pretty good to meet these characters anyway. Because that's the whole emblem mechanic, is you merge with these particular characters and you get their skills, their weapons. and then fight them.
Lucas said, "What you doing all this yelling in my chat? Man, get your ass back."
Exactly. I was just about to get that guy.
And no disrespect, like I was looking like, "Hey, what's up? Yeah, it's all good." I would just imagine like if that was real life, somebody just walking in the room while we talking. Hey, such and such and such, such and such. Like, hey, if you don't calm down, what's up, player? How you doing? Sit down, bro. Relax. Get some iced tea.
No, he up out of here. Now, so yeah, like if it looks like all day you said 1 if you're getting it, 2 if you're not, right?
Yeah, yep.
It looks like a pretty good mix of
Yeah, it looks like a good mix in there. Yeah.
Half and half.
Which is like it's not going to be the kind of RPG that's going
It's an
to
acquired
appeal to
taste, though,
everyone.
for sure.
Yeah, so it's like I understand that there's gonna be some people that will be like, yeah, I'm gonna pass on that. It's not for me, which is fine. But I do like I've only played 3 Houses. I haven't played the other Fire Emblem games, but 3 Houses was so good. It made me a fan of the series, so I'm definitely.
Can I tell y'all something? Like the way it was structured with like the whole Persona stuff. That's what kind of turned me off of the game because I was playing too many RPGs that kind of had that structure, so it kind of turned me off.
Well, you'll be glad to know they took it out. Like the only relationship.
Completely.
Yeah, like the whole like romance sim aspect of the relationships. Now the relationships are going to be between obviously other characters in the game and your relationship between your emblems, because you could level up your emblems, talk to them, etc.
Okay.
So all these characters from past Fire Emblem games, you could talk to them, etc. But it's not relationship in the same way 3 Houses did it, where you could go around and do quests for these individual people. You know, you have to work on them, you have to teach them, you have to do all none of that is here. None of the school stuff.
Yeah,
that's dope. Okay,
teaching.
This is kind of That's kind of more appealing to me now.
Teaching parts, I didn't really care for the romance parts of the characters. It was the teaching parts that actually was pretty cool with. I was fine with that. But it is what it is. I enjoy building up characters and stuff like that, and the permadeath, which is like I'm playing XCOM Chimera Squad, which doesn't really have too much of that in it. And this one is a little bit more. It's a little bit more like narrative driven, so they kind of keep a lot of those characters around. But in 3 Houses, I love the battles because you had to be really, really smart with the moves that you made. Because like in typical XCOM fashion or Final Fantasy Tactics fashion, you know, you make a mistake, someone goes down, you lose them, you've lost them completely. Like you're not getting them anymore for the rest. Like they're done. There is no, bringing them back. So as long as those aspects are still in the game, that's all I'm going to care about.
The permadeath is there, but it's toggleable. They said, like you could toggle on permadeath.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, I mean, even XCOM, you can toggle it on.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I always just go that hardcore every time I play those games, so it doesn't,
And to answer the chat, yes, it's turn-based, and the other one was, no, you don't have to play 3 Houses before playing this game. This game is set in a completely different time, different place.
I believe that 3 Houses was the first one to introduce the option to choose whether or not to have permadeath on. Is that true, or?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay. If anyone in the chat knows, I'd like to know. I'll probably pick this up too, but maybe not day one. I gotta find my Switch. I don't know where it is, so.
I wouldn't know about that life.
Yeah. Aaron, I see what you're saying, buddy. It's all about. I don't know how to say this. I'm just lazy, bro. Really comes out with that. So, I'm back. I am back. It is me.
You back like cook crack? Yeah.
Yeah. I went to go grab some food. All right. So anyway, we just move on from that. Oh, let's talk about this obesity is a slur thing.
It is if you're.
Right.
Never mind.
All day. I don't know what the fuck you were about to say, but I'm a little sketch.
Huh?
Oh, she's gone.
Yeah, obesity got her. I don't know where.
No. They came for her. They knew what she was about to say. They took her out. Wi-Fi gone.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah, you can hear me.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't stand you all day, for real. Hold on, let me check my audio.
You definitely sound different now, though.
It's very
Weird.
compressed.
Hey, I'll tell you that parallel universe, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, here it is. Switch over to the. Okay, how about that?
You sound better now.
Yeah.
Thank you. I had to switch. It switched me to my webcam audio. Where's my show at? So I can just check to make sure my audio's okay on my ears. All right, I am. All right, so all I ask, if you guys can please refrain from the fat jokes and body shaming this chick. Like, I understand that what we're about to read is going to be absolutely fucking ridiculous, but you know, I'm not all about that making fun of how people look in my chat, at least. Okay, anyway, we just move on from that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and read this really ridiculous fucking tweet. And please, if you guys can refrain from attacking her, that would be great too. She's only 24. You know, I don't really. When it comes to people who are younger than me, I tend to extend grace to them because you know, I was pretty dumb when I was at that age too, man. So her name's Leah. She's 24. She is a fat vegan leftist and a grad student. All right. So she ended up getting twittered by this. By what I mean by that is Twitter came through and was just like, no, this bitch is fucking lying. But this is what she said. She said the term obese in quotation marks is a slur because it is used to dehumanize us and harass us. It is not because our feelings are hurt by an accurate description, which it is 100%. That's the reason.
My stomach
It
hurt.
is an outdated term that does more harm than good, which is another fucking lie. And as such, it should be eradicated. That is it. And then
My hand is up, bro. My hand is
they
up.
they came through saying
Man.
obese is a technical term. According to the WHO, overweight and obesity are defined as abnormal or excessive fat accumulation that presents a risk to health. A body mass index BMI over 25 is considered overweight and over 30 is obese. She continues saying, this seems to be making the rounds in bigoted circles. Fat people have always existed and will always exist. Fear mongering, a normal human variation, does not work on me. But while you're here, you're not harassing another fat person who might not be able to handle it. So go off. Obese, she did the little
Yeah.
On top of my laptop right now, bro. Hurry up.
Obese is a slur because it's a term used to degrade and dehumanize in everyday lingo and medical spaces to trivialize our care and treatment. Never denied it was a medical term. There are so many other terms that are medical but offensive. Name them. Name them.
Can I go,
mad,
please?
Fatphobes. Okay,
All
go
day, I
ahead.
feel you, man.
Go ahead.
Please,
Go ahead.
listen. I am high as fuck right now. I'm smoking on some Master Kush, and when I smoke on Master Kush, it gives me these answers from the universe that are amazing. They're great. I want y'all as a group, as a collective, right here. How many people we got in this chat live? How many people we got in here? Somebody
A
look.
lot.
We got a lot. All right. Now, mind you, is it just me? My real name is Kevin. Okay. Is it just all day or Kevin? I'm just trying to figure this out. Is it just me, or does it seem like the term or the word fat seems more disgusting, seems more derogatory than the term obese? Fat doesn't sound nice off the lips when you describe people to me. Oh, look at that fat person over there.
Okay, so this is the
You know what I'm saying?
explanation, right? If you use so quote unquote fat activists have reclaimed the term fat. They use it in their little body scaling measurement things. I think it's like they have like a scale, a personal scale on who like what weight range someone falls into, and it goes. There's like super fats, mini fats, infinifats, all that. Death fats. No, I'm dead ass.
Man,
I'm dead fucking ass, man. I'll look it up.
You know what sounds if you're fat, you know what?
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
They've reclaimed the term fatness for themselves. They don't like the term obesity because this is their language, not mine. But they don't like the term obesity because it's fucking reality, and these people are goddamn delusional. That's what it really is.
Basically.
Okay.
So,
okay. I can understand not liking people making fun of you based on your appearance. That I get it, because it's in some circumstances something you can't change. there are some body types that are bigger than others just due to genetics. Being severely overweight where it is unhealthy and has a chance of causing heart issues in the future is not a genetic build, and it is not healthy. It's, yes, I understand that a lot of people, especially on the internet, it's the internet, everyone's a horrible person, except for us in the chat. We're great.
I'm a horrible person.
Yeah, okay, never mind. He's bad.
We're called Scumcast, baby. We're all bad people.
To me, the way I've always seen this kind of thing is, it's always felt like there was more this ideology of, I just want to be lazy and I don't want to have to change my life. And so because I want to be lazy and I don't want to better myself, I'm going to take a stance that anyone trying to tell me to better myself is just trying to be mean towards me and make fun of me and belittle me. Whenever I would say there are a lot of mean people, but there are also a lot of people who just genuinely don't want you to die of a heart attack at an early age. I don't know.
Some people say I like this. So if someone says I like this fat, bro, more power to you. Love it, cherish it. That's on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't do nothing, but don't project it on everybody else like we attacking you for describing you. You know what I mean? I don't understand.
Okay, so scientifically, the BMI doesn't make any sense, but obesity and like those terms have like they just are BMI, but the index itself is made up numbers. The person who made it said they just made that shit up. So, the terms themselves are just terms. They exist. Like,
talk that shit, man.
This is not one of them things where you can like even reclaiming the word fat. How did you reclaim it?
You didn't.
Like, I don't.
You just said you did.
It's a factual fat statement. Like, it's just that simple. It's a factual statement. No C. I made sure I put no C so that. What is like? How do you reclaim something that doesn't?
Wait, Luca. Hold on. Wait. I want to ask you something. And I'm just paying attention now because I'll be off. But what's on the screen right now? Is this all the terminologies for fat?
Yeah, it is the
Who?
Oh dear, what is it called? What is the? Oh, it's the
World
categories. Categories.
No. Who made this up?
The fat activists on TikTok.
Why the fuck?
Oh, so it means no one. No one. Okay, so no one important.
What is a category?
It's a category for fat.
I think it's just like a scale of like how overweight you are. It's just
let's go ahead and
small
read
fat miss.
So U.S. women's 18 or below or 1X, 2X is a small fat. The term small fat refers to people on the smallest end of the fat spectrum. Think entry-level fat. They can often shop in both straight-size and plus-size stores and have options at many brick-and-mortar stores, though some stores may relegate them to online options. People who are small fat may face some medical and interpersonal weight stigma due to their body size, but are generally generally accommodated in society and do not face significant barriers solely due to their size. Okay, so a mid-fat is a U.S. woman's 20 to 24 or 26 or 2X to 3X. As indicated by the name, mid-fat people are in the middle of the fatness spectrum. Most mid-fat people shop at plus-size retailers with many options online only. This is the upper size range for most plus-size stores. Because they are more visibly fat, they experience stigma and discrimination in healthcare, the workplace, and often encounter access issues with public spaces and seating. A large fat is a U.S. woman's 26 to 32, 4X to 5X. Large fat is the event horizon of most plus-size clothing options, and they are almost exclusively regulated to finding clothing online. Lane Bryant fat, a term created by writer Roxanne Gay, is often used to describe people in this category because they still have clothing options, but they're often just Lane Bryant stored in similar stores. Large fat people experience significant discrimination and bias in nearly all areas of life. They often struggle to access healthcare and are shut out of many aspects of public life due to their size. A super fat is a larger than U.S. women's 32, but also it's complicated. The term super fat was created at a no-lose conference in 2008. It refers to the largest and most underserved. I am not doing this on purpose. I'm not doing this on purpose. Underserved members of the fat communities who were often marginalized.
Nobody's underserved
within fat
at this point.
activism.
Stop it.
Around 2017, the popularity of the word InfiniFat shifted the definition of superfat downward to refer to people between a woman's US 26 and 32 covered by large fat. Some people prefer to use superfat with its original meaning, while others use it to refer to a specific size range. This generally depends on how they feel about the term InfiniFat. Okay, so InfiniFat, larger than a US woman's 32, but also is complicated. InfiniFat was we already read through that, so we're gonna move on. And then Def Fat, which is no specific size range. Writer and activist Leslie Kinzel coined the term Def Fat in a post in the live journal Fashionista community that was reposted on her blog in 2008. It is a reference to the term morbid obesity. You know, it's blocked out because it's a slur, but was not intended to refer to a specific size range. The term may be used by any fat who wishes to use and embrace their morbidness. And then there's a little cross and a fucking grave right there.
It's morbid obesity because it can literally kill you.
See, I can't talk on this subject because there's so many jokes I want to make. So I'm just gonna mute and just because I could just let off.
As long as you're not talking about this chick, it's all good.
Oh, so I could just talk in general.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe let me hear one of the jokes and I'll decide whether or not.
They said they were underserved.
So
You mean underserved? They like they was overeating.
Underserved what? They didn't get as many plates as they wanted. Like, what was
come
the
on,
underserved?
call them out, man.
That didn't see ourselves making them dumbass
Okay. So if Maska get that, I was gonna say. So how do they judge your fat? Like, do they go car weight scale to a lorry weight scale?
Oh.
Or how do they? How do they determine?
All right, they're doing this themselves.
So once you get to InfiniFat, you just like fuck it. I ain't gonna change. Like, that's what it is. Is that what that means?
They used Event Horizon.
Right. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, that was funny. That was the word term Event Horizon.
Okay, so I quote retweeted this and I said, the day fat activists stop using language associated with the prejudice generally experienced by Black people, other people of color, and then LGBT people is the day I will finally know peace. I will never know peace because these fucking idiots will continue to do this, right? Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. Like I said, this girl's only 24. I do want to take a moment to be serious, right? Mm-hmm. I feel nothing but immense empathy for these people and this younger generation who are being influenced by these fat activists on TikTok because they're growing up. And I'm going to make it clear, being obese is not healthy. Being overweight is not healthy. That's why it's called overweight. That's why it's called obese. Like, your body fat index is just, you just got too much fat on you, man. I don't even think I need to go into all the health risks that come with being obese. I'm not going to bother going into it. People, we fucking know what's up, right? And other than like the social stigma, because there is social stigma when it comes to being fat. People who are fat are considered less attractive, depending. Like, anyone can find someone who's attracted to them, or anyone can find someone who wants to be with them and be in a relationship. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, generally speaking, when it comes to American, or Eurocentric standards, being obese is not considered beautiful in any sort of way. I am of the mind that you should love yourself enough to want to get healthy, not love yourself enough to continue eating yourself into an early grave. There is a reason that a lot of these fat activists on social media are still in their early 20s. Early to mid 20s. They don't understand that the strain that they're putting on their body by overconsumption is going to have a major effect on them when they reach their 30s, maybe even their late 20s. Because I hit 27, my body started fucking falling apart, man. I started getting sick with things I didn't think I would ever feel sick about. I can't eat certain things anymore because it makes me sick. Like, I started falling apart. And I really started to take my health into account and started working on bettering my health. You know what I'm saying? I've lost 50 pounds so far. That's been like a slow and steady thing that I've been doing the last few years. I lost 30 pounds initially. I gained it all back during the fucking global panorama. Gained it all back and then some during the global panorama. And then guess what? I lost the fucking weight again. And now I'm down 50 pounds because, yes, 98% of fat people who lose weight tend to gain it back. That's completely possible. But if you gain it back, you can always lose it again. It's not easy. It's not fucking easy. The first thing I did was go to my doctor to make sure I don't have any underlying medical conditions that would make me losing weight difficult. I don't. So I set across the path and I started working on it, because at the end of the day, the way that you lose weight is if you eat, you just eat less. You know, you eat at least 500 calories less than what your daily caloric intake is. All you got to do, like, there are websites that can help you measure like your daily caloric intake and like what you should be eating with how much you work out. Like, you don't have to starve yourself in order to lose weight. You don't have to eat fucking chicken and broccoli every day just to lose weight. I ate fucking protein pancakes, used real syrup and eggs. That shit was fucking awesome, dude. Like, I found great alternatives to the food I was eating before. I dropped the majority. Like, I don't drink soda anymore. I'll drink a Gatorade occasionally, but I don't drink soda anymore. I'm 100% mostly drink water. I will occasionally have coffee, but it's on rare occasions. Like, I'm not going out there drinking coffee all the time. So it's like, you know, I'm just so grateful that I didn't grow up in this era where there's this idea and this narrative that it's okay to be obese. It's okay to be 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 pounds overweight, 100 pounds overweight. Like, it's all okay. It's all great, because at the end of the day, we're still young, right? Like, we're still young activists. We can eat, we can overconsume, and we can still go on hikes. We can still move our bodies. Everything's good, right? But then it's like, you know, how many fat activists do you see in their fucking late 30s, early 40s, their 50s? There's a reason why the show My 600-Pound Life was a thing. There's a reason why that 1,000-pound sisters is a thing. You know what I'm saying? There are visual indicators that if you continue down this road, you're just going to continue getting sick.
Yeah.
Obesity is a medical fucking term for a reason, and I just feel
sad,
so bad. I feel bad for these people, and it's like other people, like, I know other people think it's a joke, they think it's funny. I just feel empathy for these young people, and I feel like they need someone to sit them down and talk to them, because I also don't like them co-opting language associated with genuine fucking prejudice that has been experienced. I heard someone say that systemic fat phobia. I'm sorry. Were there fucking water fountains that said no fats allowed? Stores that said skinnies?
Yeah, we're talking about
that they would drink from it.
They're talking about stuff like maybe they can't get into places easily, like it's hard for them to go places and go out and do things. Yeah, because you're not supposed to be that. Like, the human body is not designed to be like that. That's not normal. It's not healthy. It's not them trying to be prejudiced. It's just, it's not designed for you, because this is not what you are supposed to be as a human. It's not right. And it's not because it's sad.
And it really kills me, because whenever I see, it's like people who are part of the LGBTQIA plus community, and they're the ones using this kind of fucking language, it just lets me know it's like you're not aware of the history that people in your community have experienced. You have no idea, because you are using this kind of language when it should generally just be associated with real acts of fucking prejudice. Like, I'm sorry. Once again, I understand people make jokes about people being fat. People make comments, their little snickering remarks. People don't want to date you because you're fat. I completely understand that shit. But it's not a slur. If it was a fucking slur, you would have considered not typing it out. I want you to, like, I'm sorry. Can I walk into the room and say the word obese? Yeah, right? Now, can she walk in a room and say the word obese? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Now, can she walk in a room and say the N-word with the hard ER?
Nope.
No.
I mean, she can try, you know.
Yeah.
And we can see what happens there, right?
Yeah, I would love to see. I like those songs. Go ahead.
Can she use any sort of language that's generally associated and considered a slur in common practice, in society, without receiving a shit ton of backlash? Saying, oh, obesity is a slur. I mean, if you even look at the fucking dictionary, and I did this the other day, I started looking up words that are considered controversial, words that are slurs.
That's sad you have to do that.
And every single word that is a slur had offensive on top of the definition, because they're actual fucking slurs. Obesity is a medical term, and that's
Okay.
just a fucking
And-
fact of life.
End of
Fact.
discussion.
End
End
of
of discussion.
She's lying. She's lying, and she
But-
does it again. She's like, it's not because our feelings are hurt by an accurate description. Yes, the fuck it is.
The worst part is not the fact. It's the fact that she doesn't even think she's lying. She thinks what she's saying is the truth, and she genuinely believes it. It's the fact that
delusional as fuck.
she is delusional to herself, which is, yeah, it's easy to make fun of fat people.
You know-
and so I get like the whole like them kind of being hurt by it, but it's sad. I don't know. This time I'm with you. It's genuinely just kind of disheartening to see people like this because they're gonna sit there and they're not gonna change, and they're gonna get other people to do it too.
It's
know
easy
something
to
else?
make fun of anybody.
Yeah,
But the problem is, like, even in that little fat index thing,
Mhm.
whatever the category thing,
It's about the BMI.
that stupid shit. No, the little infinite fat and death fat, all that shit.
Mhm.
You're also putting people in categories. The
Yeah.
shit you literally
Mhm.
are telling
Literally putting
everybody
it-
not to do, you're doing it. To the
Yeah.
same people.
But what about the stuff she's pushing? Like, think about your moniker in itself. When you go to her profile, just when it says fat vegan, like you're claiming that. You know what I'm saying? So you're owning that. You're owning what you are, and then you can't get mad if someone has a medical term for what you are. How could you, get mad at that? They're just describing what you're saying. That's not nothing to be offended about. That's just what it is. Another thing, I find interesting is the 600-pound thing when you watch it on television, and it's like,
Yeah.
what about the people that get inspired to be on that show?
I don't
For
know
the
if it's
wrong-
an inspiration.
No. Listen to me. For the wrong reasons, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Just wanna be famous.
they become famous. They have all these opportunities, all the endorsements. They might get Twinkie endorsement. I'm not being funny. I'm being serious here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I want to see how many companies are actually putting in weight loss programs and into the after the interventions and all that. Like, is it really helping these people, or are they just making a buck, making some money, becoming a little local celebrity? Like,
Well, I think that applies to like the 1,000-pound sisters, like Tammy Slayton and
Yeah.
them. I think that definitely applies to them, and Tammy especially because she's not
yeah. I would
made
say that. Yeah.
effort really to lose any weight. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, like I just think that it's young. It's this younger generation, and they're in for a fucking wake up call when they get older. They are in for one hell of a fucking wake up call when they're older. And honestly, again, I would like someone who is part of a quote unquote marginalized group to actually sit down and be like, okay, can we talk about this for a second? Can we talk about you using language associated with prejudice that Black people experience, and then trying
That's my biggest issue.
like that's my
Yeah.
biggest issue too, because I'm sorry, I can't change the color of my skin.
Nope.
Nautical, can you change the color of your skin? Day?
No.
Nope.
Slow?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Can't even
Matt?
scratch this
Nope.
off.
Caleb?
I'm white.
I know that you're white. Like
No.
Caleb? Singer?
It still makes the point.
No,
Yeah.
you
We
can't.
didn't choose to be here, man.
It's true.
We didn't choose to be born into the races and ethnicities that we're born into. So,
But
but
that's part of the problem is that they are trying to create this narrative that I didn't choose to be fat, or I have no choice but to be the size that I am.
But
it's
you do.
it's natural or whatever, and that's none of that's
No.
true. It's not
It is
natural.
very much not true.
You don't eat or exercise or do any of the things that you need to do that other people are doing. That is the reason why you are the way you are. Now, this whole we're right. Like, we can't change our skin color, but I don't want to target specific groups. So I'm just going to say this: I primarily do not see Black people running with that kind of language and using that kind of narratives for these things. and
Actually-
Hey,
trying to-
wait, no, you can't. Hold on, you
I've-
can't.
I've
Hold on.
seen maybe-
Wait. You can, but guess what? Those people that are changing, maybe quote unquote, their skin color is still detrimental to their health.
no, that's not what.
Yeah, that's
like,
No.
That's
I'm
not
just
what I'm
saying.
saying.
that's not
I
what he's saying.
understand that.
No,
I
you
understand
don't
that.
understand because that's not what he's saying at all. He's not talking about the skin color changing.
No, I understand that. I brought that up anyway.
Okay.
Okay,
So
yeah.
wait. What is Slow-Mo saying all day?
No, I get what he's saying.
What is he saying though?
Keep
I mean,
talking.
if you
Slow-Mo.
know what he's saying, tell me what he's
all
saying.
day, all
No,
day.
I
Digital,
get what
can
he's
you
saying.
please-
But what
all
is
day
he-
digital. Can you
what is
please
he
take a
saying?
stand?
I
Can you
interjected
please
a
take
whole
a
nother
stand?
topic. I get what
Raise
he's
your-
saying.
Raise your right hand.
Okay, so again, I mean, I can say it. It's fucking white liberals who are saying this dumb shit, dude.
No,
So,
yeah.
And it's because they do not
some white liberals.
Understand.
they do not understand what it's like to be treated across the board systemically, from whether it's government, education, the people in your community, all around you, no matter what, be treated completely differently strictly because of the tone of your skin. They do not understand how deep it goes and how many levels it is, and how in everything that you try to do in society, to the point of like how the options that you have in education, to how your education was even set up to begin with. All of it is predicated upon these certain things. They do not get it. And so they see it from the outside in, and all they see is, oh, well, ooh, welfare, ooh, public assistance, ooh, affirmative action. And then they go, oh, well, like these things are like things that have been put into place to help those people, even though they primarily help them and don't even realize it. I'm not gonna.
How can help us really 32% of the population? But let me stop.
So, but then they that's all they see from discrimination against Black people, and so they co-opt things because they're saying, oh, because they got these things based upon the discrimination they deal with, so let's just use the same language to try to get things that
it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
But it's not the same as the issue.
It's not.
No.
Even like the critical race theory, like critical race theory is history. I don't know why y'all keep trying to make up new terms for fucking history.
Right.
It's history.
You know why? You know why?
They don't like.
You know why? You know why? So it's easy to blur later. It's easy to blur.
I know why, but I know why. But like, it's just history. They use the things that they use new terms and deflections in order to, misappropriate and misdirect people into whatever belief will eventually become reality, because if you say it enough,
it's true.
If you say it loud enough, it'll eventually become real.
And they know that. That's why they don't put the real history in history books. That's why we got to hear about the history of the things that have gone on in this country from other sources. You got to go to a library and read it outside of school, actually on your own personal time. Do your own research to find out the history.
If you care enough. If you care enough.
Shoot, the history of the park. What's the name of that big park in New York?
Central
Park.
Central Park.
The history of Central Park. Like all of these things. That what's the name of the lake that everyone says that they be dragging people down and drowning them, and it's in Georgia. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like
Camp Crystal. No, I'm playing.
No, it should might well be. But it's like the history of these of these places. It's just like it's not.
No.
It's
not authentic.
Yeah. It's just it's wild how they just want to like do their best to act like none of that stuff ever existed.
Yeah. History is written by those who are in power.
Exactly. And honestly speaking, again, I just really think a lot of it is like people just want to be fucking victims so badly. Like I don't even understand the victim mentality that is so prevalent, and especially, I mean, I think it's all generations. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen that tomfoolery. My usage of that word somehow. I've seen that tomfoolery and like literally from everyone essentially, but it is something, again, TikTok is the leading platform when it comes to social media, and a lot of the fat activism I see, fat activism, I'm just using the terminology, right? A lot of that I see is on TikTok, because TikTok is shorter form. I think I was watching some YouTuber and this is how they explained it, right? TikTok is shorter form, which means you can say some fucking crazy outlandish shit and then you don't really have to expand or explain what the fuck you just said. But in a YouTube video, YouTube videos are generally longer. So typically people attempt to explain their fucking foolishness, and then it's even easier to see how foolish they are. With TikTok, again, it's a lot of people who are young, they're consuming this, they're like, yeah, I do love myself. I want to be very clear. I think and I truly believe that you should love yourself enough to want to get healthy. Yeah. And I'm talking more than just losing weight. I'm talking fixing your sleeping schedule, because sleep is so important to the health of all individuals. But it is the one thing that is neglected the most. People
very much
live off of 5 hours sleep. I have to get at least 7 to 8 hours personally. I do my best to try and get 7 to 8 hours. My sleep schedule is something I have been working on for years, because I understand that I need to get more sleep. I understand that it is not okay to just eat my weight in certain things. I understand that it's not okay to overconsume certain things. I understand these points. I understand how important it is to move your body. To move your body in any sort of way.
Move your body.
Especially as we all get older. I am 29. I'm turning 30 this year.
Damn, 29? Shit!
Okay, anyway, I'm turning 30 this year. And I'm, again, I'm like, oh, I started getting sick from shit I never got sick from before. A few years ago, I'm like,
Man, this Xbox.
No fucking, shut up.
Wow.
Game Pass.
Lack of fucking games, man. Yeah, so it's just like I implore y'all, if I have anyone younger in my audience who even for a second thinks to ascribe to this kind of thinking, I just want to say, like, please reconsider, because at the end of the day, your health is what is most important in all aspects. And like, I watch those what I eat in a day as a fat person videos on TikTok. This concept of I have no control as why I am obese is fucking, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Especially it's those goddamn sugary drinks with 1,000+ calories in it, Miss Ma'am.
With 300 grams of sugar.
Like literally though, you know what I'm saying? Starting their day with a fucking extra large iced coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, filled with fucking cream, or from Starbucks and all that shit, dude.
Yeah,
that's like the start of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, shout out to
Luca said, "Drink water, bro. Drink water, bro." That's all she's trying to say. Drink some water, bro.
So, shout out to Vibe Worlds. Speak with the super chat saying, speaking of race, we need them reparations from Benedict Cumberbatch's family. Yeah, I saw a little bit of that. Benedict Cumberbatch, who is an actor, I think he's most well known for playing Sherlock Holmes in that one show.
Yeah.
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who. I mean, Doctor Strange.
Sherlock Holmes. That's what
he also played Sherlock Holmes in a TV show. But
yeah, what happened with him?
No, I'm saying that's when I first heard about him, is when he was playing Sherlock Holmes in that TV show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But
what his family historically were slave owners in, is it Barbados?
Barbados.
Yeah.
Hey, Rihanna, you better holler at him. You need all that. You know what I mean? L.A. I mean.
So yeah, he said that his mother had like urged him to not use his actual name when acting and stuff.
Really?
Yep, because they didn't want people to find out, do any research on him and knowing his full name and start coming.
Yeah, we need that money.
Yeah. But then and yes, he's currently well known as Doctor Strange. I didn't even think. I mean, I didn't even think about Doctor Strange. I was thinking,
hey, with a name like that, he sound like he owns some shit, huh?
You know what I'm saying? So, okay. Anyway, we can just move on from that. Let's go ahead and get these channel member topics. We only got a few because people fucking forgot the show was going to be on tonight. Not that I blame y'all, because I've been missing in action for fucking weeks now. So we're gonna go ahead and get these few channel member topics, and then I guess we'll get out of here. Even though we've covered a lot of topics and there was a lot of talking, it's only been 2 hours, which is super fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, let's talk about it. So, shout out to Jun Dunn. What's one thing you feel proud of for accomplishing in 2022? It can be a big or small achievement. Okay, allow me to say what I'm proud of. I'm proud of losing this fucking 50 pounds, even though it took more than just 1 year, but whatever, right? I'm proud of myself for realizing I was in a bad situation with my last job and getting myself the fuck out of there and not staying and dealing with abuse, honestly speaking, like workplace abuse, not I mean, which is still really bad, but you know what I'm saying. I got the fuck out of there, and I am currently working on furthering my career in IT. So I'm proud of myself for all of those things. I'm proud of myself for making the effort to meet new people and go out. I went out on dates last year, which was fun. You know, I'm just proud of myself in that regard. And this year, my focus is going to be on losing the last 20 pounds I need to lose, and then also on me. I'm going to focus more on me. I mean, I'm a very egotistical and self-centered person in general, but I do have this bad habit of focusing a lot of energy on other people. So this year, I'm going to primarily focus on me and enjoying my hobbies, indulging in my hobbies, and not being so focused or caught up in making sure other people are happy. I'm gonna focus on myself. So, anyone else?
For
I'm proud
me,
of the fact
all
that
at
I ain't
once.
cussed nobody out yet. It is 7 days in the new year. That's a record for me. I'm proud of myself for that. I'm probably gonna cuss somebody out tomorrow though. I plan on it actually. I'm proud of myself for last year for cussing out a record 3,472 people. That's a guesstimate. And then for not telling everybody to kiss my ass, just most people. This year I intend to tell everybody to kiss my ass. I'll make sure I round that circle. What else?
4,000 people.
3,000 people, only 3,000. It was a slow year. People was just getting back outside after the panorama, so I ain't get to tell everybody. But and then my plans for this year is to play some games, take some naps, and then cuss everybody else out. Yep, that's it. Maybe eat some cereal. I'm hungry.
So,
That's
so mine's is pretty similar to Luca's. Earlier this year, we flew over to Texas, or down to Texas, I should say. And I was probably this close to having to buy an extra ticket because of my weight at that time. And that, I was like, first of all, this ticket costs too much. I'm not doing that. Great. Thank God I didn't have to. I just fit. But that was like the moment I told myself, never again. So over the course, and this was like, I want to say July of last year. Ever since that moment, I was around 430. I broke 400 in October.
Hey, that's what's up, my boy.
And I'm down to 376 right now.
That's what's up, man. I'm so proud of you.
So my goal for 2023 is to be under 300, and it will happen because it's not hard to do. It just takes a lot of discipline, and all the things you said earlier really, really spoke to me because it was one of those people. I actually lost 70 pounds in 1 year and gained it all back because you just kind of fall back into habits and stuff. So the biggest thing is just stay consistent with it. It's nothing like seeing the once you start seeing the transformation happen, you get happier and you start doing more and more of that stuff. And you just mark off the days. And the more times you feel better, the days you feel great, mark those days off and just try to have consecutive days of that. That's the easy way to do it. But yeah, that's my goal. Under 300 by the end of this year. Like I said, I started well over 400 last year, and I feel better, and your life feels better when you take that type of stuff serious when it comes to your health.
You got this, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Anyone else?
What am I proud of? Last year, I'm proud of just like a lot of the time I was able to spend being better balanced. I kind of like took a step back from content creation.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
I'm
Beating
sorry.
600 games.
I'm
I know. I took a step back from just not gaming in general, but I still did a lot of gaming, but content creation, and spent more time with friends and family, and that's been beneficial. My whole goal is just being better balanced, being able to have like my kids feel like I want my kids to have like a ton of memories with me, and not just be like, oh well, all daddy does is work, and then when he's not working, he's spending time with mommy or playing games. He's not like I don't want to be. I'm not saying I'm a terrible father or anything like that, but like I just want to be more in their life and be more focused on the things that make them happy, and being like just trying to make them happy. So that's been a good big focus for me.
I need you to fix your sleep schedule this year, sir.
Oh, I knew you were going to when you started talking about sleep. I was like,
You're lucky I didn't point at you. You're lucky I didn't point at you.
He had me. Listen, man. This man had me up playing Halo at 2:00 in the morning last night.
Y'all need to I'm not even. Here I go. I'm not even.
No, you are. Listen, Luca. I will tell you the one thing that your body will tell you is when you need to take a break, and that was the one thing that happened to me. The majority of my time playing video games is always usually at night, past 11 o'clock, all the way to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't do that because my body wouldn't let me do it during this holiday. I was feeling it yesterday playing with slow mo. We were having so much fun playing Halo. I just gutted it out. But I damn near overslept going to work today because my body is used to getting that 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah, y'all need to fucking fix your sleep schedule. You're gonna listen. I hate to fucking say it. You're gonna have to take an L on something and give up something. And the thing honestly speaking, I have to make the decision between gaming and making videos and all that shit versus my health. I'm choosing my health personally. Like, so it sucks because I do really love gaming and there's a lot of things I want to fucking play, but especially with me working in person and being out of the house from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Like, I try to be in bed by 10. I'm choosing my health over gaming personally. And you guys barely see me on socials anymore or on this channel. So it's not like I'm fucking on social media all day or in these fucking spaces. But, you know, I digress. Anyway, we can move on from that.
Yeah. The biggest thing you can have, the best thing you can have, going back to everything we're saying, is your best attribute and your best ability is your availability. You got to be available to your family, to your friends, to the people that care about you the most. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're risking that availability to not be there because you never know how many people actually count on you. Maybe not financially, but just to lean on when they got stuff going on, you know, so you got to remember stuff like that too.
Yep.
Yeah. Ooh, Caleb, you're still young. What are your goals? And what did you do last year?
Ambitions. Last year, definitely my biggest thing that I did was this is completely off topic from what you're all talking about, but I built a PC for my first time. It was really great.
Yeah,
that's awesome, dude.
It's becoming an addiction now, and I keep buying things I don't need. But it was really fun.
You can turn that into an actual career, knowing how to do that.
Yeah, it's funny because I think I might actually be at a point where I might slightly enjoy building the PC more than I do playing the video games, except for Destiny, my one love. But yeah, that's probably my biggest thing from last year. And I guess goals, future stuff. For me right now, just focused on saving up and getting ready to move out and kind of just see what life has for me. Nothing in particular. So
I just noticed that John and Don did not ask us what our goals were for this year. But Stone did. Shout out to my babe saying, what are 2 big goals and achievements you have for yourself in 2023? And we answered that. Shout out to you, my love. So anyway, John and Don said, what's your favorite Christmas or Secret Santa gift you got? Or if you splurge on yourself, what's your favorite holiday purchase of last year? For me, it was getting a couple of DualSense controllers and being gifted the first big boy volume of Berserk. Ooh, I like that. I remember you mentioning that. My mom made me a snood, which is like, it's like a scarf / hood. Okay. When I say I'm addicted to this fucking Wednesday show, I mean it. So, you know how Wednesday and Enid were wearing, like, you know, Enid made Wednesday that scarf hood thing at her snood. So my mom, I got her to make me one, and it's black like Wednesdays, but it's like mixed in with pink for Enid. So, you know, that's my anyway, that's my favorite purchase from last year. I mean, it wasn't a purchase. She like made that for me, whatever. But my favorite purchase from last year, I bought these Naked Wolf shoes, which were also in the Wednesday TV show. She wore it in episode 1. Okay. And then also, what's my favorite Christmas present in general that I got? I absolutely still remember receiving my Game Boy Color. That was probably like the best Christmas present I ever had because like following that, I continued receiving Game Boys. You know, I had a Game Boy Color, a Game Boy Advance, a Game Boy SP, a Nintendo DS, a Nintendo DSi, the Nintendo 3DS, and then the Nintendo 3DS XL. I had all that shit. And actually, let me tell you something. That 3DS XL, probably my favorite Nintendo handheld that they've ever made. That shit was fucking awesome. But it started with the Game Boy Color, and I will always fucking appreciate that. I also really liked the SP. That was the one that flipped, right? Hold on.
Which one you're talking about?
Yeah, the Game Boy SP. I had the red one. It was so awesome. I will never forget how I accidentally broke my Game Boy SP. And I didn't tell my mom. I told my grandpa, so he bought me a new one, right?
Oh my gosh.
And he never told my mom that he bought me one. So anytime she would ground me, I'm looking around, make sure she's not around. I'm sorry. Anytime she would ground me, I would just give her my broken Game Boy SP.
Oh my gosh.
And she never checked it. She just
Wonderful.
assumed, you know? So I'll never forget that shit. Shout out to my boy Yobi, who's been a member for 19 months. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I hope you're doing okay. Saying, just wanted to say hello. Hashtag peace, love, life. Be good all, and please stay safe. Peace. Love you, brother. I love you so much, man. But yeah, I fucking love listen, I used to be a big Nintendo fan. I just got bored after a while. So boys, the question from Mr. John Ladon.
My favorite purchase this year was a plane, and then yeah.
Will you be casually stunting on us? Like, God damn,
then,
okay.
Whatever. And then my favorite gift of all time that I ever got for Christmas was I'm one of those people where my mind never turns off, and I've always been like that since I was a kid. So I never get like surprised at what gifts I get. But one year, I remember my mom, like she played me. She was on the phone with me, and she was like, "I'm standing in line for your I wanted one of them White Tiger Power Ranger Zords, like the one that transformed and shit, right?" Mm-hmm. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm standing in line for this," or she was talking to my sister, and my sister had her on speakerphone, and she was like, "Damn it, they ain't got no more," and I was like, "Damn!" Like I was like creeping, and I was listening, like ear hustling, and I was like, "Damn!" And then under that tree, that was the very first thing I opened. I was like, "Mother!" That was my favorite. That was the only time I've ever been surprised, like ever. And
that's awesome, dude.
I love that thing. Love that thing. I broke it in 2 weeks, but I love that thing.
Of course.
Yeah. But that's probably my favorite gift I ever
got. Let's see. My probably biggest holiday purchase of last year. I don't know, man. I kept switching GPUs. I guess the last GPU that
here we go.
I feel you, man.
So I'm on the 3080 Ti Founders Edition. That's probably my favorite. That or my one of my monitors. I can't remember. As far as favorite gift,
who is building in the background?
I have no idea.
I think all day you got an IKEA set.
No, all day's muted.
Is it Forte?
I don't know whoever's doing it.
It's not Forte.
Whoever's doing it, if you could please mute your mics, that'd be super fucking appreciated. Continue.
Oh, no, I'm good. That's it.
All right. I think you meant to say that your favorite gift was the gift of our friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like the gift of us becoming besties, right?
Well, I mean, we've been friends for longer than last year. So.
I know.
Yeah. That was a good way of squeezing out of that one. Go ahead.
I think the best thing I spent money and splurged myself. I went out and bought a really nice curved 32-inch monitor for Christmas. It's really pretty. I love it.
Delicious.
And my favorite Christmas present I've ever received is also the video game I was most hyped for that I can say of any time in my entire life. It's also the first game I ever 100%ed, and that game is Lego Batman 2. I had never been. That was hands down favorite Christmas present ever. Love that game.
Yeah. So my favorite gift that I got last year was this beautiful camera that I'm looking at that my family chipped in and bought me for my birthday earlier this year, or last year, I should say. The best gift that I gave somebody. Oh man, listen, man, this right here. Whew, I've been drinking these ever since.
What are you drinking?
I bought my wife. So I bought my wife a Bartesian Keurig liquor machine.
I mean, yeah, I've been hearing the fucking ice clinking every 5 minutes.
Sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. I'll do better to make sure I'm mute. But this is like, wow. I spent too much money in liquor as it is already. It was a great time bringing in the new year with this thing. I'm drinking an amaretto sour right now. Earlier today,
taste amaretto sour is
I read
fire.
earlier before the show started. I drunk a Long Island iced tea. Oh man, this is getting bad. I was playing Fortnite. I was playing Halo with Slow Mo yesterday. He was like, "You need to start drinking every time you play games with me."
Now I understand why you said you was having so much fun. You was drunk.
Oh,
Only time
bro,
you have fun playing Halo is
well,
you was
it was
drunk.
good. It was fun last night. But no, honestly, and that was a gift from my wife because she really likes stuff like that. So that was the best gift I gave somebody last year. But this camera, legitimately, because I wanted to be able to document my daughter's senior year for this whole senior year. So this is what I wanted. And I've been able to get prom pictures. I got lenses for her graduation when it comes up. So it was more for them, but it was actually really cool because I could actually use it in this stage too. So that's the best gift I got last year. But this, I bought it for my wife, and I probably enjoyed it more than her.
Of course. All right. Well, I don't think Singer or Day are here, so we can just move on.
I am.
Oh, you are Singer? Okay, King, go ahead.
Best gift I ever got. What got me into gaming? Sega Master System. Yeah. That would be the best gift because that's what introduced me to gaming way back when I was like, what, 5. And what was it? The best purchase from last year? The best purchase would be my car.
Oh, I see you, King.
What kind of car did you get?
Upgraded Nissan Qashqai.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had a conversation like, what the hell is that?
Yeah. Because obviously they don't have them in the States. Evidently.
Is that a left side drive car?
Right.
Okay. Oh, it's
right
obviously,
we're the only ones.
They live in Europe.
Driving on the wrong side, man.
But I don't think it's a model they sell in America. It's called a Qashqai.
Qashqai.
All right,
How does the commercials? How do they say it on the commercials?
Qashqai.
Qashqai.
All right, and then shout out to my boy Stank Maw. Shout out to him. He's been definitely hitting me up, offering some great advice on things involving my career, and when I was dealing with some mental health stuff. So I appreciate you, Stank Maw, always, brother. I hope you're able to hear this. But he asked, "What is a food spot in your city that you tell an out of towner that they have to hit?" Probably Portillo's. Yeah, probably Portillo. I mean, I know that you fucking know not to go.
Oh, I know.
With that nasty ass cake shake.
That nasty cake shake. I had to try it once. It was diabetes in a cup.
Exactly. But Portillo's has some pretty good food. They do hot dogs primarily. That's like what they're known for, but their burgers are amazing. Like they're really good.
They put those
fries
hot dogs,
are good.
Those hot dogs, they put whole pieces of relish and half a pickle in there with it, all seasoned in a bun. I'm like, yo, what is
awesome,
this?
Dude.
It is awesome. It's really
I would
good.
also recommend Giordano's for the deep dish pizza.
The real Giordano's, not the one out the microwave oven.
Of course, that's the Giorno, right?
The Giorno? Oh yeah, maybe.
Close. It's not delivery.
Hey,
it's the Giorno.
It's the Giorno.
Okay, but yeah, Giordano's. I would definitely recommend that. I would recommend it over Lou Malnati's. Me and Lou Malnati's, it's on site. Like we got beef now, so anyway, yeah. But those places. What about the rest of y'all? I mean, if you don't want to let people know what area you're in, which I'm sure everyone else. I think everyone has let everyone know what area they're in. But if you don't feel comfortable letting anyone know what area you're in, you don't have to answer.
I had to.
What's the question again?
Let's see here. What is a food spot in your city that you tell an out of towner that they have to have?
Oh, Lido's Pizza.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say Lido's. I was gonna say it.
Lido's Pizza is just one. There's quite a few out here. But they're definitely Lido's Pizza. Go ahead, Forza.
So if you're into barbecue, Slow's Barbecue, downtown Detroit, some of the best barbecue you'll ever have, pork and brisket and everything, freaking amazing. If you're into hibachi, I always say Osaka. Oh my God. They give you, it feels like they're filling one person feels like they're getting a village full of food, which is not healthy for you, but it's great. And then, actually, that would be the only two. I can't remember the other place name, so that means it must not count. But those two, I always tell people, like when they come, like, hey, you like hibachi? Let's go here. You like barbecue? Let's go here. It's pretty awesome.
For me, probably this place called Straight Drop. A seafood joint. That joint's pretty fire. And then this place called Maciel's. It's like a little like hole in the wall Mexican joint. That joint is also fire. All the barbecue joints in Memphis are trash to me. So I don't. That's just me though.
God
They
damn.
make songs. Wait, they make songs off of that barbecue down there.
I hear you, and I thought I was gonna get all of the song barbecue, and I went and no.
What you don't like about
all
it?
the ones that are decent are like chain joints, and
which is the opposite of what you think it would be,
right? Like
Yeah.
you know, like the interstate barbecues and all that shit. They tried to go so far into making it commercial that it went backwards. And then the places people like down here that are like staples like Corky's, that shit is disgusting. That is unseasoned. It's uncouth. I feel like I feel like the ribs is dirty. Like that's how I feel. Like you ever taste like got that like dirty sponge taste?
Yeah.
Like that's how it smells.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like those ribs taste. Those ribs taste like dirty sponge. Like I don't fuck with it. So
oh man, Arcade's like you don't like Corky's or BB King, huh?
BB King's is okay, but again, if they try to go like too commercial, and it lost what it was supposed to be. Like people go to BB King's now to get drinks, and because it's called BB King's, like I don't fuck with Corky's at all. That is the most disgusting shit in the world. But
That reminds
BB
me of
King's
how
is like decent.
People eat
but
at
it's high.
B-dubs, but Buffalo Wild Wings is trash, dude.
Oh no, it's trash.
It is
used
garbage.
to be, it used to be good, but it's trash now. I guess because we graduated to better things. Our taste buds can actually enjoy other foods.
Yeah, I feel like I break my jaw every time I try to eat Buffalo Wild Wings fries. So
Speaking of fries, the only fries that I eat now, and I don't eat fries as much no more, but when I do and I get a crave, I'm going to Five Guys because they're gonna give me 2 bags worth of it.
Five
basically.
Guys have the best fries.
Man, when you walk in there,
fire.
I almost walk in there. I remember one time I walked in there just to buy the potato sack that they have. I was like, can I take some of these potatoes home? These freaking amazing.
They have really good fries.
Man, it's crazy how they're fried. Connor, why every time Connor speak, I think I hear. Why do I always think I hear
Connor's
deli?
fine.
Oh, Caleb, why do I think I hear deli?
he doesn't even sound like Die.
Yes, he does.
No, he does not.
Yes.
He does not.
Okay.
Okay, I talk to Die probably the most out of all of us. He does not sound like Die.
Chat, does
I
anybody?
saw someone in chat say I sound like Ben
chat,
Shapiro.
tell me, does he sound like Die every time
Ben
he talks?
Shapiro?
Sometimes
That's what somebody in chat said.
you
Oh,
do. I like literally every
Maybe
time
a little
he talks,
bit.
every
Yeah,
time
he
he
does,
talks, I
actually.
look up a little bit. I'm like, is Die in here?
His laugh sounds like Die, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gregor said it sounds like deli too. Sounds like
our
Die
food
too.
trucks.
Yeah, I gotta go to a food
A
truck.
lot
We
of the
actually
food trucks,
Food
like,
trucks
I
are
will-
nice.
I
They're
will
really good.
I will follow them on Instagram and be like, yo, I will
Where they at
drive
next?
30 minutes to a food truck with no problems. With no problems before I go to one of these restaurants out here. No problems, no issues whatsoever. There's a lot of food trucks out here I fuck with, but these like it's this one called he used to own a restaurant, it was called Sushi Jimmy. That sushi is like the most fire shit in the history of sushi. And I've been to Japan, and that shit is the most fire shit in the history of sushi. He do a pop-up like once every like 2 months, and you get like 11 sushi rolls for like a $50 box. Man, shit, kill that shit all day long.
man, I really wish I lived somewhere that had good food. Y'all keep talking about this. It's like, man, I wish I had good food.
There's some good food where you're at. You just
just haven't found it yet properly.
You just
No,
haven't
but
found it.
I've looked.
There's great food everywhere. Even we have fire food.
I
over
mean,
here.
like you would recommend the Spot of Dick, right?
No. I would actually no. There's a nice little place over. There's a nice place by me called Mamacita.
Okay.
What type of food?
No,
is it?
Mama, it's fire. The thing is, a lot of these places, a lot of the small, like Hans Chow Mein is another great place. Like there's these little places that people know are fire, but then most people go for the branded stuff. But if you look for these little stores, you try their food is fire, and they don't have too many people ordering there, and you're like, you know what?
Listen, man, I am not a ramen. I was not a ramen person, but there's this place called Shimura, and I tasted like this creamy cheese broth that they had with their like top shelf, their like house special ramen. I was like, yo, I am glad I don't live near this place. It's literally a 30-minute drive from my house to get there. I only made that trip twice since like the year before last when I found out about it. But bro, it made me a ramen lover, and I've been trying to find ramen close to me, but I haven't. That's the only place I found, and that's like a hole in the wall over there.
Well, hole in the walls are the best. Typically,
It's so
They,
good,
I mean,
bro.
they are, dude.
For me, down
They-
like you find a good hole in the wall Mexican place. Oh my god, always the best.
Soshimoku here in Michigan, man.
Macielo's, it's literally like it's the size of this room that I'm in right now, but that shit is so fire. So
Yeah.
damn fire.
He's just the size of the room.
The kitchen, the sitting area.
Got the fryer sitting right next to the door.
It's on the table. You watch them fry right in front of you.
It is a box. It's a box. It's 2 stories, so it's a box on top of a box. But that shit is so fire. Love that shit. Love it. Absolutely love it.
All right, let's go ahead and get on out of here. So shout out to Meat Puppet, Scrotum, Phil, Alex, DK's Blizzard, John the Don, Smoke, Sturenza, Stardust, Outlaw, Risk It, Stankmaw, Red Infamy, Stone, JB Cash, Dexflex, Starbuck, Drav, Kenny, King Metrotron, DC, Texas, Perfect Shogun, Mike Bison, It's Me Baby, Big Daddy, That Guy Smitty, Long Game Larry, Iman, Plus on the Block Podcast, El Whito, Bless, Sub Negro, Sir X-Man, Yobi, MJ, Jazzy, Persona, Erotimus, and Bandy, Damien, Dom, Strictly, Duck, Sycamore, Zion, Danelle, Breesky, Corey, Light Gamer, Bari, Arcade, Pepitio, Nautical Jet, Sir Taz, Brandon, Envy, Dub, Jarrell, Snowball, and Hannibal. Shout out to you guys for being members. Appreciate you guys so much. I'll catch you guys later for another episode of Scumcast. I think next week, if I remember, we should talk about some movies that are considered underrated. Like they weren't super popular, but they're still like, okay, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. What I'm saying is I'm gonna rewatch the Underworld.
That wasn't popular.
Yes, thank you. I'm gonna rewatch the Underworld franchise, and that Van Helsing movie with Hugh Jackman is also amazing in my opinion. So you know what movie that is older but is absolutely atrocious? That Queen of the Damned movie. That's a really bad movie, but that soundtrack is fantastic. So let's do these outros. Thank you so much for coming on, Caleb. It's always a treat having you here. We really do appreciate it.
Yep, I always appreciate coming on. It's always fun. So.
Oh, I'm surprised the Kai CNAT situation wasn't a topic. I'm gonna wait for some more information to come out before talking about it, actually. So I think that it might be best to just wait for more info on that.
It seems like it's going to be an ongoing thing for at least another week, so we probably will have way more information on it a week from now.
Yeah, I will say that his little Twitch response, pretty bad, but you know what? He's also 21, so I don't know.
Who are we talking about? This is
he's
Paul,
this really big streamer, like really big, huge. He had a party, and at the party, a girl he invited ended up getting assaulted.
Oh.
And it was by one of his friends. So he hasn't had the best response to it at all. Yeah. Actually, it's been real bad. So it's an ongoing investigation because she did her due diligence. She went to the police and she went to the hospital as well. She got a kit done. So, but yeah, it's a pretty messy situation. I'm gonna wait for more information to come out. So but thank you so much, Caleb. Appreciate you.
Woo.
Space One, always good to see you. You didn't think it was that bad? Oh, okay.
Just quickly, everybody like came at him like it was he did it. So he responded horribly, absolutely atrociously. But everybody came at him like he did it.
The issue was that he didn't at least acknowledge that it was something that was going on. And then people are like, well, he wasn't supposed to. His lawyer. I mean, if that was the case, then he should have continued being silent on
Just
it.
not
I
saying
agree.
anything at
Like
all.
he responded absolutely stupid.
So
Yeah.
that was the first issue. The second issue is that she came out with texts and where
That's a lot. Yeah.
it seems like he lied about whether or not he knew the guy. So that's what a problem is that people are having.
Yeah. And if he legally couldn't say anything to her or wasn't supposed to, he should have said, "I legally can't say like
anything to you.
You're not like prohibited from saying I legally can't say anything to you." It's ridiculous that if that was the case that he didn't say that. Instead, she's sending him pictures saying, "This is the guy that assaulted me," and he's not responding.
Yeah. So
and then when he did respond, he's like, "Are you good?" It's like, "No, fool." Like, what are you talking about?
I'm not like I'm not. Here's the thing. He's so young. He's so young, and he's very, very successful. And I just think it's really sad that this situation has happened to that girl. Really, honestly speaking, and that it was at his party. Because he's had so much success last year, especially. It just sucks. And again, I mostly feel bad for the girl because his response has been really bad. It's been real bad. And I hope, I mean, nothing can really be said about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of the worst things that could happen to a person. So I'm going to wait. Like I said, I'm going to wait for more information, and I wish that girl nothing but the best. And I hope Kai has to continue speaking with his lawyers and maybe talks to someone in PR to help him out a little bit. Maybe. Maybe. So
maybe he should just stop talking.
Yeah. Okay, Singer.
Shout out to everyone who came through. Shout out to the chat and the panel. Great show. Shout out to the CEO. I know it's one of the topic, but shout out to the CEO of ScreenX. Speed running his company into bankruptcy.
Oh my god!
Any percent speed run challenge, this dude is gonna do it, and I can't wait to see it go down in flames. And yeah, you can find me where you find me as per usual.
Fright Night is also another excellent movie, the one from 2011. I'm just saying that. All right, Nautico, your outro.
Yeah, man. Great show. Happy to be here once again at the beginning of the year. I can be consistently here until October of next year, so we got 10 months of me.
October of next year?
Oh, October of this year. I'm still living in 2022 a little bit. Yeah, it's a great show. Amazing being here with you guys. And as always, Gaming Forte, YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, PlayStation. DPS was on my channel a couple days ago. Check it out with the homeboy Slow Backslap. Always a great time. And I hate to say this, but everybody might want to go give Halo Infinite another shot.
Nope.
It's actually
all right.
It's actually pretty. It's actually
shut up.
actually pretty
I played
good.
occasionally.
Let him
You
speak.
were drunk. How many
Actually,
amaretto sours have you had?
Let that man.
it's actually. Hey, listen. It's actually pretty good. It's
Cap.
not as bad.
Talking about
It's still.
Okay.
I'm still
Hold
listening.
on.
I'm still listen.
Hold
I'm
on.
still mad. I'm still mad at 343. I hold a grudge.
I just want you to know,
But the
you went
game
from
is
it's
actually
actually
fun.
pretty good to it's not as bad within 3 seconds.
Okay.
look.
Well, listen.
Man, stop it. Stop
Listen. The game still has issues. I will say that, but it is definitely still fun to play
It's
Halo.
fun with friends if you're drunk,
No. Look, this.
like every other game.
It
we,
is still
we don't need to expound upon anything. Just play Halo.
Can we talk about how we have not even attempted this GTFO? But you know what? That's actually my fault because I've been ducking and dodging. So moving on from that, Slow-Mo, thank you so much.
Yeah, man, good show. Good panel as usual. And check out DPS next Thursday on my channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm out. Peace.
Peace.
All right, Maslin, always good to see you, brother. Thank you so much for being here for our first show of 2023. And
For
I'll
sure.
see you in another 6 months, man.
Yeah, maybe
6 months.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds right. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. But as usual, in order to start off the year towards my resolution, kiss my ass.
All right. Shout out to everyone in chat. Love you guys so much. Please be safe. And I'll see you next week. Peace, my boys, and my lovely, lovely ladies, but my lovely boys too. You're all so lovely. You're all so beautiful.
Cat.
This
Love
sounds like a
you.
bunch of cap out here.